Takashi Miike, it's going to be a surprise each and every time.
Are you sure? Are you sure they're actually safe for work to watch any of those?
Yeah, it's like
At your work.
Well, there's that.
Hello and welcome.
oh god, you're loud.
No, fuck off, Steve. This is not your show. Also, you're wearing the wrong shirt.
I think at this point it's anyone's.
Oh,
Yeah.
Right.
If anyone's confused
Anyway.
about if anyone's confused about what's going on tonight, this episode is the 100th episode of Maker's Waffle.
Yay!
So this is the only time we're going to do an introduction. Only time we're going to do an introduction. Yeah, because it's we've got some of our favourite people on to help us celebrate.
and Steve.
And these lot.
Yeah. Cheers, everyone. Cheers.
See, I've got Welsh cider and everything just for you, Andy, and you go.
Hey,
I didn't wear a bloody red top, though, did you?
I didn't insult you.
You said and Steve. Where's Al's drink?
No, that was Raz that said and Steve.
Okay.
Irish cider.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm on Irish cream stout, which is all we're on.
I'm
But
on
anyway.
strawberry syrup. If
You're on
Nice.
strawberry syrup,
yeah,
Is that
Oh,
stuff that you
actually
pour on
like
top of ice creams?
like chamois.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm on,
Isn't that what
I'm
you clean the windows
on
with?
grape juice.
Grape juice.
Raz, what are you drinking?
Well, I'm currently at tea because I spent the rest of the weekend drinking.
You're on
Yeah,
hangover
but-
mode.
Well, kinda. My stepdad turned 60 early this week, so we occupied a lighthouse and had a party.
nice.
I hope he
like
didn't
you
do
do in-
things like Willem Dafoe.
No,
Twilight did. Okay, good.
no, don't worry. We made all of the inappropriate jokes about that, and then we did move on.
No seagulls were harmed in the making of this birthday
No.
party.
But the island of the lighthouse has goats on it, and it's fucking amazing.
Nice.
Yeah. So while I wait for everyone else to like finish cleaning the room and all of that, I walked out and I sat in a meadow with goats for an hour.
Okay.
That
And
was
your
my yesterday
friends?
morning.
And there's still as many goats there as there were.
Nobody counts them, Andy. It's fine.
Can't like count goats, man. I got first breakfast, second breakfast, third breakfast.
Yeah,
Goat lunch.
words like that. Yeah.
I'm not being
Oh,
rude.
so
I'm
many
just
possible things.
quickly posting to
I'm just always like
Instagram. Just quickly posting to Instagram that we're actually on because I was going to do it before we started, but I didn't have time because I'm in. Oh, that's cool. Where'd you get that?
Someone flipping made it for that.
Oh, okay.
Ooh,
That's
that's cool.
That is very cool.
And this is what normally happens when we're recording. When we're recording an episode, I try and do things, and Al tries to distract me because he's a lovely human being.
This is.
It's a test. It's a test, isn't it? It's like being.
It is a test
What was
working
it?
with Al.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You're probably not old enough to remember the television program with David Carradine called Kung Fu. Yeah, that kind of whole.
I'm that
Mentally.
old.
Yeah,
I remember it.
Was
Yeah,
it in
all the-
colour?
It was a traveling
Yes,
show.
it
It
was-
was to go round.
It was just sprayed on the walls of caves, Jamie. In every episode.
Yeah.
Frame by frame.
They just kind of come and rub it off and then spray the next one on. I love the
It
idea
was a
of
fucker to download.
someone having rattle cans but not having TVs.
The rattle can was a Norwegian invention, actually. Just to get the fun fact out of the way early.
I love the fact that your inbuilt autocorrect said invasion before invention. You went to Norwegian invasion first.
Well, that too.
National sport.
Yeah. National pastime, really.
Yeah, you're a bit more localized than the Brits. Yeah, we kind of went a bit further afield. Yeah, well, the
I mean,
English. I should
we
say.
invented you lot, and then you learned, and it's kind of improved upon the formula and spread it out a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just took it to a global market. That was all.
And look where that got you.
Maybe we just weren't afraid of the heat so much.
Honestly,
Yeah.
that might be a big part of it. It's been absolutely scorching in Norway, Oslo. I've been to the south of Norway. It's horrible down there.
Do you mean as
It's
in
a
like
positive
it was
digits.
above freezing?
Yeah, out of the
No,
Arctic
it was
Circle.
about 20. It's
Celsius
horrendous.
Wow.
Or Fahrenheit?
Kelvin?
Both actually. Yeah, no, I'm probably
We're
more than
ranking.
little
Yeah.
scorched was the word I was going for, but okay, never mind that.
Slightly toasty.
Yeah,
Did that? Wait, hang on. Did that work?
yeah. Steve,
Yes.
are you ready to do the podcast?
I don't know.
Yes. I've just tagged you all in the post.
It's not the podcast.
We can
Yes,
edit this out, right?
Edit.
Yeah.
Edit.
With time travel.
Yeah.
Actually, saying that, Al, while I've got you here, are we going to record an episode this week?
I feel like we're missing someone.
He might be on his
I
way.
don't think you could just record this and put that out. I mean,
Record this and
really.
just dub them lot out. There we go.
Perfect.
Yeah. If you want, I can send you the audio if you like.
It'd probably work out about an hour.
Yeah.
It just cut us all out. There's got to be an AI tool to do that. Everything vaguely Scouse, vaguely Welsh,
But
vaguely French, vaguely Norwegian. Just
We'll
auto-drop
keep
it.
we'll keep Red on and pretend that he's the guest of the week, and just cut the rest of you out.
Nice.
Perfect.
I mean, that would be an
If that
interesting
doesn't-
episode, not to be fair.
If that doesn't appear in my podcast feed in a couple of days, I'm going to be really disappointed.
Wait, you know what you have to do? You have to set a reminder to remind me to do the thing.
Yeah.
Your fault, Jimmy.
Yeah,
That's on you.
Right. I don't know why I'm saying right. I'm not running this show. I'm going to relax.
Hey, no one's running this show, mate.
If you
It's-
can.
I don't think I can. That's the problem. Yeah. So what's everyone been up
You
to?
know you want to.
I can't help it. It's forced to happen. Al, why do you look so dramatic tonight? Like I'm digging it.
I'm underlit.
Yeah, I
If
know
you
it's
have
good.
a light below the eye level,
Yeah.
it makes it look really dramatic.
Yeah, I know, but it's like, is it a just happy coincidence or is it an intentional thing?
Like that.
Because I like the backlighting as well and everything. That's perfect, Jamie.
I go for the full.
You look like you're doing goosebumps.
You missed Raz setting the scene before. He was like getting it all like
the sexy mood
all
lighting.
romantic.
Hold on. I can go back to that. Give me a second. This is going to be the best audio content this side of. I don't know.
Yeah.
I love the
Don't quite
fact
work,
There we
is
go.
it? Yeah, don't quite work.
Oh, nice.
It's not
we kind of have a
horribly
pre-show to sort of iron all this stuff out, and then this happens.
No, and then we
I-
figure out how
I-
hilarious it is in a podcast, and we
Google.
bring it back.
Lights on. There we go.
Steve,
The little lamp's not available right now.
why did you take your ears off to say that though? Does your mouth
Because
not work
Raz-
without your headphones on?
Raz was talking and I can't talk to Google and listen to Raz.
Do you don't ever listen to me? What's the problem with that?
Exactly. It was short-circuiting my brain. I couldn't escape because it was here. But yeah. So happy 100.
Yay.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
It's all right.
Chin-chin.
But you never thought that you'd spin off the middle and the right half of the screen just by you two and Brett.
You could almost say
waffling for a bit.
we've spun off 2/3 of this.
Oh,
Bravo.
I'll
It's on
send you
fire.
royalty checks.
But yeah, no, honestly, like it's mad that you guys have got to 100 episodes. Like not mad as in I can't believe you've done it because you're awful. I mean, I can't believe that it's been 100 episodes already. This is awesome.
Yeah. And we've had
How
we've
many
had
million
about-
hours of podcasting time have
What
we
was that
recorded?
about? I was gonna. I wish StreamYard would give us a grand total, or
It's 100 times 10. It's pretty easy.
Yeah.
Well, I think the average is probably about 2.5 hours. So
Yeah, but we've had a few that skew the average as well,
yeah.
pretty
So-
significantly.
if you round it up to say 3, then it's like 300 hours.
Yeah, it's probably closer to 250. No, between 250 and 300.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to get a spreadsheet going now, and not tonight.
Is this the point where we have to apologise to the audience for all of that content?
Not really, no. Well,
you have to say
now you mentioned
welcome. Yeah, be like, oh, and you guys are welcome for all that amazing content.
Yeah, you're welcome, people.
JP thinks he should take the blame because they stopped Makers International and we kind of took over.
Yeah, to be fair, this is JP's fault. So
most
yes.
Yeah,
I think that's fair. I think that's fair too.
Yeah. And I also, just so you know, I now have the song from Maui stuck in my head because you said you're welcome.
Oh, glorious!
Yeah,
that's really fun to dance to.
Yeah, but that's also like the guys in the workshop, the secret workshop, have also discovered how incredibly easy it is to get a song stuck in my head. To the point where like they will literally just walk in and just whistle a couple of notes, and a few minutes later they get me humming or singing it along. But the worst of it is, it's got to the point where, like, for some reason on this job, Sweet Caroline has been the one that I end up singing all the time, just to myself for no reason. But I've started singing, instead of Sweet Caroline, I've started singing Sweet Child of Mine, but in the style of Sweet Caroline.
Both ways round would work.
Yeah, it's become a thing. How's off?
It does work both ways.
Yeah, it really does.
Even with the woes.
Now I want to see a DJ Cummerbund mashup between the two.
I want to see Al do another video with Brett doing that.
Ooh, well, getting fucking
oh yeah
YouTube copyright.
Yeah.
Stamped.
That was a really funny video.
If anyone hasn't seen that video or wants to see that video, send me a message.
Oh, it's secret hidden, isn't it?
Yeah, it's secret. Well, it still exists, but I just need to send you the link. I can't make it public.
Yeah. And if you don't know what Al's on about, just ask him for the secret link anyway. He will not be disappointed.
Oh, sorry. Just
talking of secret links.
in the chat, someone's put
hidden sausages.
That their favorite earworm to drop is "Hold Me Closer," Tony Danza. But I've got a better one than that. My friend has a Chihuahua called Danzig. So every time I see Danzig, I end up singing "Hold Me Closer, Tiny Danzig," and he's such a sweet dog.
True story.
Yeah.
I mean, Final Countdown's always a good one to get stuck in people's heads.
Pretty much anything from the 80s, really.
Yes. Or Locomotion by Kylie Minogue. Guaranteed to be in my head for the next 3 months now. Yep.
I'm going to text Jay just a list of stuff to whistle at you tomorrow.
Yeah, you can. He's in that place. Yeah, he's not in the country, so it's fine.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't know anyone that's... Well, I suppose Shell's still here, but yeah.
Figure something out.
Yeah.
I can see you twitching, Steve. Jump into podcast host mode.
Yeah. It's because we don't have I keep going to try and bring it back to the topic, and then being like, oh yeah, there's not a topic. It's fine.
It's no different from the average Fools and Tools episode.
Whoa.
Hey! we always have a topic. It's just
curated.
That now derail me.
We just work it out after the episode.
Also, that's what we were doing wrong. We're actually trying to figure out the topic before we start recording.
That's madness.
Yeah, we have to change that.
No, actually, I think that's what keeps us unique.
Yeah, that too. And the segues.
So here's a question then, because obviously you guys are all podcasters as well. So how do you go about picking your topics?
Well,
we just go for one every 10 at best. Yeah.
But usually somewhere in between the whispers and the Mars bars.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, as I say, for us, it's usually either a case of like I'll have an idea and forget it. I'd be like, "Oh, guys, I've got a really good idea,"
Surely not.
and then I'll forget it, and then I go, "Al, what are we going to talk about this week?" And Al will go, oh, "For fuck's sakes, why don't you write it down?" I was like, "I did. I just don't remember where I wrote it." And then Al comes up with the topic.
We did genuinely used to have like a rich Bayo tapestry of like topics. And
Yeah.
they were all kind of like clumped together in different
Yeah.
themes, depending on what kind of mood we were in and things like that. And we were pretty good at it. We stuck
Yeah.
by that for a couple of years. And then it just slowly devolved into like, what was Steve doing 5 minutes before we went on air?
Or which podcast was Steve listening to this week? And
I had a really good idea. Listen to these guys.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Or which podcast were you on?
Yeah. Actually, so we should probably redo the sheets because it just got a bit clumped and messy. I think if we redo it, then we can like actually start using it again. Because I've got a load of good shopics written down in my notes app. I just never remember to check it.
Notion.
Put them in the
That's
put them
what
in
you
the
need.
other thing. Put them in the WhatsApp chat because then I can just put them in for you.
Yeah, but you're not there when we start recording.
No,
Are
but
you
I can
sure,
share the
Steve?
sheet with Al.
Okay, yes, good shout. But
Just a relay
no.
service.
yeah, if we redo the sheets, then in fact I might do that. No, I'm not going to do that now. I'm on a podcast.
See, this is where you keep going wrong. You keep not doing things because you're on a podcast.
Yeah.
In answer
Really
to
good.
Chris's question, yes, we have gone underground, but it's on OnlyFans now. So there's a live stream. There's a live stream every Tuesday on OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Yeah, what they do is they do the same recording, but they move all the equipment below the desk
Yep.
and then just record as normal.
It's great.
Where did Alan ask that?
Chris, not Alan.
Oh, where did Chris ask that?
You get the chat open, Steve. Come on.
I've got the chat open. I'm just
You
trying to
haven't,
read
have
it. Okay.
There you go, Steve. It's on the screen.
It's even highlighted.
Okay. All right. Fucking hell.
See, I'm just wondering which of you is into the tapestry, though. Yeah, if it's the Bayer, yeah, do just the stitch work.
Yeah, we've got the leftover embroidery machines from Maker Central.
Oh,
Brother
You
sponsored.
still keep it over then.
I'm not doing it by hand. I'm not an idiot.
those are impressive machines, aren't they? You've got to admit.
It's cool. It's very cool. Unlike the vinyl cutters, which were rubbish.
Were they?
And really, really complicated. Like we did,
no.
the user interface was so difficult to use. I'm assuming once you dial it in, you know what you're doing. It's relatively easy, but it was.
Do you know what?
Even the people who knew how to use them didn't know how to use them.
Do you know what was brilliant though? Was the Kadrunk. Mostly because if people were using it properly, it was amazing. But it also kept the kids entertained for hours because they were just throwing the balls in. That was the game they wanted to play. So great, go for it.
Big basketball, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did a proper game of that actually ever get played?
Only by adults.
Every time I walk.
Yeah. Yeah, basically the adults watched their kids do it for a little while, then got annoyed that they weren't doing it properly. So went, anyway, just let me show you how to do it, and then took over and had an actual game.
I was at the Science Museum in London a couple of years back, and they had a load of iPads set up with this like rovercraft game where you could like draw a shape of a rover, put some wheels on it, and it would kind of drive through the landscape of another planet. And it was started off when I got there. It started off with a load of kids all playing it, all on this one big screen. And then as each one of the kids dropped out, their parent would jump in. And then by the end of it, it was just a row of dads with the kids stuck behind them. No, you're doing it wrong. Get out of the way.
Yeah, not at all competitive either, was it? Yeah.
No.
There wasn't enough of that this year at Maker Central. Like last few years, it's always been like the competitive dads in the background. Like I thought we'd get a little bit on the Matchbox Derby thing, you know, with the cars and stuff. And like dads going like, no, you want to do this for a bit of aerodynamics and stuff like that. It's like no, they were well behaved, the dads this year. I thought.
Makes a change.
So, your thoughts on the game for next year? begging question right now.
There was rumours of a giant operation. A human-sized, real-sized operation.
Oh,
Yeah, not as a game. We're just going to pin Andy down and try and fix some of his.
Well, yeah, we can have a real person in there. That'd be even funnier.
As long as James is there to sort me out with some of his
happy
specials. Yeah.
James and Podpad Studios are just going to try and augment you a little bit for robot legs.
I can see nothing wrong with this plan. Absolutely nothing wrong. It will be splendid.
Yeah, legs not tracks, please. Yeah.
I love this idea so much. Oh, no, you have a docking port attached. So
Don't we all?
so you can just change out for whichever legs you like, whichever attachments you need for that terrain. So yeah, you might have like ball attachments for speed running stuff. For speed running stuff, or you might have legs for like climbing stairs, or you might have tracks for rough terrain. Like,
So what we're saying is we're going to turn Andy into the bad guy from Wild Wild West.
Yes. Ah,
Yes, please.
I can't remember her name now. No, just go slightly said. Years ago, I used to show a TED talk quite regularly to my classes, to my form generally. I can't remember her name. It was an American lady who was missing both legs.
She had the blades on.
Yes,
And she did modelling as well. Oh no, I can't remember her name.
Amy Mullins, was it?
That's it. Yeah, Amy Mullins. She has something like, at the time, she had something like 6 different sets of legs for whatever choice you want.
Different
So
heights.
she was an athlete, so she had blades for running. And for when she was going out, she could choose her height.
That's cool.
So if she wanted to be like 6'2".
Hand-carved legs
Yeah.
as well.
I know something better though. There was a double leg amputee on Dancing with the Stars a while back.
Nice.
Who was dancing? She did was it jive? And she had these massive springs for legs.
Nice.
So and it looked amazing. She made that work really, really well. And also she had the story of like, oh yeah, no, I can decide the height I want to be.
I wonder if it's
Every
the same
single
person.
day. I think so.
Because that's the kind of thing she'd do.
Might be, but it probably it's. I was showing that 10 years ago, if not more.
Yeah.
So yeah, other people have cottoned onto that, and the idea that you can actually sort of change your height if you're a double amputee. It's just like very easy.
It reminds me. Did you see that there was a social experiment a few years back with basically like a big giant set of like the bucket stilts that people used to get as kids, and the idea was that everyone was at the same height, so it was all done as a party. So when you basically walked in, they just aggregated everyone's height to the same eye level, so everyone wore different sized versions of stilts.
Oh.
So you had people that were like 5'2" chatting to people who were 6'2", but at the same eye level without having to look up or down.
Like every Tom Cruise film.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking we don't invite Duncan to that party because I'm not sure. I get a bit of vertigo.
Oh, we missed out on getting KJ and Duncan and Neil together at Makers. For
I'm sure KJ was the tallest.
Yeah.
I'm sure KJ was the tallest.
Yeah, that might be. They got something weird stuff in the water over in Sweden.
Can you stop talking about Maker Central, please, for the sake of people who couldn't make it this year? I would very much appreciate that. Thank you.
I'd like to see you suffer.
Perhaps. Red, you've been quiet. So what have you been up to? How are you? What's been going on with your life? Because I have not listened to an episode of Fruit Turds in a while.
Yeah, I know. I'm good. I'm having because I know everything.
You haven't responded to any of the insults he's dropped in the episode.
Exactly. No, I'm good. I'm having a great time listening to you and seeing a bunch of you being together for tonight. It's great. But I'm good. I'm good now. It's been a couple of tough weeks.
Yeah.
But now I'm fine.
Good, man. Cool. Raz, what about you? What have you been up to? I'm going to do it. Fuck you. I'm going to do it. Raz, this is where you talk.
Oh, sorry, I was
Jeez,
distracted.
Normally, we can't shut you up. The one time I want you to actually say something.
Yeah, I want to be unpredictable. Come on. Well, no, long story short, my stepdad turned 60. We invaded a lighthouse. We had a party. Then we got back to the mainland. Well, I cuddled goats. That's important.
Were you
and then I went
sober
back-
or drunk?
Cuddle.
I was, well, it was this like yesterday morning. That's
And-
the word.
And was it this? Was it like you went up to a goat and cuddled it, and that was it, or was it you woke up and you were cuddling a goat?
Can we move on?
It was consensual, Steve.
Yes. It was very consensual. I speak goat. No, that doesn't work either. Never mind. I went from the lighthouse to the mainland. And then
It's
I
a whole
went-
Norse.
Norwegian anyway.
I was going to say there's a whole Norse thing with goats and stuff anyway. So.
and I went to a knife market today or this weekend. The goats were sober? Yeah. At
Not
least
once
The
they tried
goats,
to
yes.
spoil them.
Raz, not sure.
So the goats were taking advantage. Got it. Right. Okay.
that changes the story quite a bit.
That's the way it is in Norway.
Were you buying?
From what I've heard.
Were you buying or selling at the? I need to say goat market then at the knife market.
Oh, I'm always buying at the goat market, Steve.
Fucking hell.
No, I was selling. Well, I
Apart from
didn't
the
really
anvil.
show up. Shut up.
Yeah, apart from the
I-
things you bought, yeah.
I was supposed. I mean, I didn't bring anything that I could sell because all of the grinders I got in on Tuesday are already sold. So I just brought one of those that hasn't been picked up yet and said, like, you can look at it, we can talk about it, but you can't.
But you
buy
can't
it."
touch it.
No. But yeah, no. I mean, I had some belts with me and a few of the accessories, and I sold a little bit, but it was mostly just a social thing to meet other
Nice.
knife makers in
Yeah.
Norway because apparently I'm a horrible person and forgets that Norway exists.
I mean, this is true. The first part of it, at least, anyway.
No, fuck off.
that was a way too long of a pause. Then.
I am tired.
Yeah. So on that one, we're going to move on. Jamie, what about you? What have you been up to recently?
I no idea.
You're not used to
No,
being
I've
at
been
this, are you?
I've been doing server maintenance today because my server has been getting very neglected for a long time, and it's been getting hotter and
Is this a euphemism?
noisier. And no, the thing under the thing.
Exactly. Is this a euphemism?
Well, no, I've been playing with
Right,
the compressor
server.
and the vacuum.
It just gets worse.
Blowing all the dust out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Something floppy.
Yeah.
I don't even need to carry on, do I?
No,
Can't complain, Steve. You're the one who asked.
this is very true. Well, that's wonderful. I'm glad you've cleaned out your server. Andy,
And
What
I
about
left
you?
all the dust outside. That was the main thing.
Andy, what have you been up to?
Mostly recovering from the thing that shouldn't be mentioned.
Yep.
But today, actually, we went. Yes, today we went to Bateman's today. Bateman's is the home of Rudyard, or was the home of Rudyard Kipling because he's dead. Yes,
You
so we
sounded
went to,
so happy about that.
yeah, we went. We went to well. He was great. He was a very good at writing.
Yeah.
He was a pretty horrible person.
Yeah.
it was of its time.
Most of them were, weren't they?
Yeah.
Well, this
When-
is true.
when
It was of its
Lovecraft
time.
was a
We shouldn't compare. We shouldn't compare
Apart from Tolkien.
really to sort of modern standards of what's acceptable in terms of being a nice human.
Yeah.
He was of his time, and I mean, he's a great writer, and people have admired it. And it was just, it's
So it
a,
wasn't
it's
the
a
guy
nice
who made
place.
the cakes then.
He might have made cakes. He
He
was
had a side
definitely
gig.
he was definitely into tinkering. Actually, he was a bit of a tinkerer. There's a program, one of my attention grabbers, the Hidden Treasures on BBC at the moment, which is looking at National Trust places and going behind the scenes. And we saw the one last Friday, I'm sure it was Friday, just gone on the Friday before because we watched it on iPlayer, was mostly about our local National Trust place. But they did mention Bateman's as well. So our local one is Sissinghurst, which is it's an old Tudor castle, which is not like the proper castles like in Wales. But Bateman's was also mentioned, and so we kind of went, yes, we've been to Sissinghurst recently, but let's go to Bateman's. It's only 25 miles away, so about an hour's drive, given the roads in Kent. But yeah, it was just a lovely place to go and visit. It was nice to sort of. I like going around the kind of houses and sort of seeing, like his study was just an amazing place. It was like, yeah, I could imagine sitting in that study. Big, it was quite a big room, and kind of been just working. And there's stuff around. It's like maps laying around and a gun in the corner. And, as you do in this sort of early 1900s. So we went there today and had a little wander around. It was nice.
How far is that from you then?
So 25 miles, or an hour's drive.
You did say that.
I'm not joking. Yeah.
Sorry,
You live in Somerset.
I slightly zoned out because I suddenly remembered that I needed to message someone from the place, and was like, "Shit, I need to remember to do that." So I had to quickly open.
Yeah, I've just seen the message come through.
Message Jamie to remind me. I am a terrible person.
Are you afraid of actually turning into a character or caricature of yourself?
Oh, he's way past that.
Yeah, he's like 5 levels deep, Raz. This has happened so many times.
Well, how deep does he go? Like,
It's like the
gently?
13th
All the way
floor.
down.
Let's not get into that conversation without a trained professional here. Al, what have you been up to?
This is the bit that we didn't tell the public, is that this is actually Steve's intervention. One of Steve's intervention.
Yeah. Anyway, Al, what have you been up to this week? Or this last few weeks, this last month? When did we last record? This isn't our podcast. What have you been up to recently?
Well, it will be when we send you the audio and you edit out all the bits.
You can edit that out. Yeah. Raz can do an impression of Brett. Easy.
You sure?
Can't be any
That
worse.
wasn't
Yeah.
He might still appear. He sent the link.
Oh, did he? Did he?
Yeah.
You can't
No,
really
he
see
sent the link.
because it's pitch black. But on the table behind me,
Looks like a load of books.
there are some books. There's a table full of wares that I'm going to take to the car boot sale because I've had a nice clear out of a load of shit.
Nice.
It's been very cathartic, and just feels like a symbolic fresh start. And I'm just kind of working my way through life.
Yeah.
Cleaning stuff out, starting again, rebooting. It's the time of year 2 years ago when I bought a load of shit cars, and it's like when people go like, oh, why do all the light bulbs go out at the same time? It's like because you put them all in at the same time. So I bought a load of shit cars at the same time, so that now they all need the MOT at the same time. So I've got like a month of basically 5 MOTs. One passed with flying colours. The only
For the LSD that you give to the tester.
No. This is fully legit. And the only thing that it did wrong is I forgot to put the battery mount thing back down, but it still passed.
Yeah.
That was an advisory. So I've got another one on Thursday. So I need to completely weld some sills by then. But yeah, it's satisfying. I'm having a whole reboot
Nice.
That's
of
good.
life. Yeah.
Al 2.0.
Starting with getting rid of old PSP games, which I'm obviously never ever going to play.
Oh, but they might
take
come
them.
in handy one day.
No, they will never come in handy. One day.
You can't even use them as coasters.
Neither will the books I've read. Neither will the 17 different camping pan attachment things that I'm never going to use. And old play at home roulette games. It's like, just get rid of it. You don't need it anymore.
Good.
So yeah.
So what are you keeping?
One Japanese pulse saw, an angle grinder, and a drill driver combo.
Nice.
Start again.
It's about all you need, I think.
It is all you need.
Just enough attachments for the drill or the angle grinder to do damage.
Hold on. You didn't say hammer.
Everything's
hammer.
Everything's hammer.
Hey!
There we go.
Yeah. What have
Steve,
I been up to?
what have you been up to?
Steve, yeah. What have
dying
you
to hear.
done?
Steve, what are
We
you not
want to
allowed to
know.
talk about this week?
Oh yeah, I've been at the thing with the place and the stuff.
The amount of times I probably shouldn't say this on air, but the amount of times at Make Essential, I went, this is definitely breaking the NDA, but yeah,
But this thing that I'm not allowed to talk about that I'm doing that.
yeah. No, I have been.
But obviously, if anyone is listening from the company that you are working for, you did not break the NDA at all at any time.
No, I didn't say anything about anything.
You just said there's an NDA. I cannot talk about anything.
Exactly. The Volvo broke down though.
We tried tickling you, but that didn't work.
Yeah. So yeah,
It was more of a test tickle, though.
Really? Yeah, the Volvo broke down, which was somewhat upsetting
ideal.
because that's supposed to be
That's
my
your
nice,
reliable vehicle.
What
Yeah.
do you expect? It's Swedish.
Well, yeah, but Norway doesn't make cars.
No, we did. We had Troll.
And like a Norwegian car would be any more reliable than
Yeah.
a Swedish car.
Oh yeah, that's a fair point.
To be fair, the
Just accidentally
Volvo-
drive into another country and steal some stuff.
No, borrow like you lot do. We borrow it
Hey,
and then
we-
just don't give it back.
the British Museum will give it all back at any point. They just need to. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah.
I was going
In its
somewhere with that. I
defense,
forgot.
it's not called the Museum of Things from Britain.
Yeah, the British Museum
false
of things that we've
advertising.
stolen.
Yeah,
It's fine.
yeah.
It's the list of here's all the things you can't have back until we finally crumble.
Yeah. It's on loan.
No,
it's on
next year
long-term
then.
loan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. What else? I
So
don't
what
know.
did you do to your Volvo, Steve?
I didn't do nothing. I just drove it.
Oh, did I tell
Um,
you that the Science Museum in London bought one of my GameCubes?
No way.
No.
So if anyone goes to the Science Museum, which is probably one of the best things in London,
Yeah.
in the near future, and there's like a I don't know, like a retro video game thing.
Yeah.
That's
I wonder
my
if it's just
GameCube.
one of the ones that went in the because they've got a cabinet with a load of old retro stuff.
Yeah.
Ah, nice.
Was it one of the orange ones, or was it one of the?
No, it was a
ordinary ones?
purple one, I think.
Okay, so one of the.
How
standard
long
ones.
ago was this?
About 2 months ago.
Yeah. So yeah.
Nice.
Might just be a complete coincidence, and it might just be that Carol from the Science Museum wanted a GameCube.
I'm pretty certain they had a SNES and a couple of other things in
Well, they want to up the
In a
fucking
big-
game, don't they, Jamie? Get a GameCube.
Yeah, exactly.
I really want a Switch.
They're
Yeah,
good.
but they're still 700 quid.
Yeah, I
like
know
they were
it's
from
ridiculous.
Day one, 5 years,
Yeah.
6 years ago, 7 years
Yeah.
ago.
Standard
Eight.
Nintendo, isn't it?
Yeah.
6
It's a lot
years
of money
since
to play one game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
two. The sequels.
There were two Zelda games.
Oh
Yeah.
right, I grew up now, yeah. I was
6 years
thinking,
apart
you
and
only
still the
played
same
one.
price, but
Yeah. Oh, have you guys seen? I've already asked. No, none of you about this. Have you guys seen the update for Photoshop? The Creative Fill update.
The AI one.
Yeah.
content aware with
Holy shit!
Seen some videos of it.
Yeah, it's mad. Like because
Mhm.
like the videos that I've seen is basically a bunch of like Photoshop experts just going, this is me out of a job. This is what I do, just automated. And what makes me laugh is I'm like, yeah, dude, like this, you knew this shit was coming. Like this has been coming for a long time. Like, why are you surprised by this? And because everyone's always
It's
like,
like when Blockbuster turned down buying Netflix for £1 million.
yeah, exactly.
What do you think was going to happen?
Yeah, like because like everyone kind of assumes like, oh, they're going to come and take our like automation's going to take our jobs. I'm like, no, the simple like manual labor jobs, that's not going to get taken over by robots. It's going to be shit like that can be just click done. But
Have
yeah,
you seen the other one that's doing the rounds at the minute? It's kind of in pre-release. That's basically got like a drag slider type thing. So they showed like basically a collection of small hills, and they just kind of went whoop, and then turned it into a mountain.
okay.
And they can just like drag it and move it and things like that. It's absolute witchcraft.
Because when you said drag slider, I definitely was thinking of a person in drag on some kind of like skateboard without wheels.
I was
So
thinking
not-
about tiny burgers.
I was going to say like really fast cars and tiny burgers.
Yeah. I want a tiny
I'm
burger
hungry
now.
now.
Yeah.
Hold me closer, tiny burger. Call back.
Good work, Al.
We got there.
Oh, the
So-
English language. Yeah.
Yeah, that segues beautifully into our topic this week.
What's the topic
Shut
this
him
evening?
up.
What is our topic, Steve? What is our topic?
100 episodes and lists of 100 things that I love about you, Andy.
Go on, list them.
Yeah.
Starts with Welsh
We
cakes.
can wait.
Starts with Welsh cakes.
Yeah, well,
Welsh cakes. Welsh cakes.
Welsh cakes, the second helping of Welsh cakes. The third helping
third
of Welsh
helping.
cakes.
Welsh cakes.
Yeah. How many Welsh cakes did you have, Steve? Yeah.
About 100.
Not enough is always the correct answer. to
Yeah, it was so good. It was. I think it was the Saturday, getting in, and I think no, was it whatever day? One day I got free breakfast because I just walked in with confidence, and the guy just didn't bother even checking me. But I think the second day I didn't get breakfast, so I went in and just went straight to the Welsh cake box and was like, yum yum yum, and it was glorious because I spent the entire time with my fucking card not working. I should have just not paid the bill. But yeah, Welsh cakes. I want Welsh cakes now.
There might be some more in your future soon.
Oh yes. Yes.
that. Yeah, good point.
Yeah. Luckily, because
Month's time.
I had to send my passport details off. Well, I got asked my passport details and was like, shit. I don't know where my passport is, but then remembered I've got a photo of my passport that I sent to Jamie because I knew at some point I would need. So I just went into the chat that I had, like the WhatsApp chat with Jamie, view media, found the photo and was like, there we go. I just sent that. Yeah,
The worrying thing with that was the fact that you said to me, "Where's my passport?" and then you found it in the chat quicker than I did.
Yeah.
Wait,
I-
that's witchcraft. Is hell freezing over? Are we dying? Apocalypse?
I think I was just busy doing something else before I actually started. But...
Where
That's
is my
not an
actual
excuse,
passport?
Jamie.
Steve, you need to find your passport.
Yes, you do.
Not
It's-
like now, but maybe tomorrow.
Yeah, it's here somewhere.
Doesn't it run out soon as well?
No,
Later this
June
year.
24. So, but I the thing is, because I might be going to the States in August, September, and if there's less than 12 months on it, I know that immigration can get a little bit funny about it. I think it's normally like if it's got more than 6 months, they're fine, but I kind of want to upgrade it before then. But at the same time, I really don't want to upgrade my passport because the new one's going to be blue and shit. And I'm kind of
because
hoping
it's not an update. It's not upgraded. So
yeah,
Come on.
I'm kind of
It's
I'm
not
kind of
gonna
hoping
be worse than this.
one for Al there.
yeah. But I'm kind of hoping that if Al, you're muted.
You're muted.
If every time, I'm kind of hoping that if I hold out until until the final date, sort of thing, that we'll
Countdown.
miraculously rejoin the EU. But I don't think it's going to happen. I'm hoping, or I might get married to a EU citizen.
You
And-
wish.
Yeah,
Raz, is Norway still part of the EU?
I was going to say,
No.
Raz.
No, we're not. Trust me, we're not.
They're only special kind of
Yeah, we are part of
smelly
Schengen.
guests.
I can do a
Members.
fantastic goat impression. I'm just saying.
Well, now you're talking. You need to get the beard out, though.
Yeah. The trouble is I can't. I don't want to grow a big bushy beard because Al's already the guy with the big bushy beard. And then, why is yours tucked inside your t-shirt?
Because you just said about growing a beard. So
No.
I just hit it before Bryce decided that I was the Billy Goat he wanted.
Yeah. Also, no, I can't grow a beard because I don't know if you can see on camera because I need a shave at the moment. But how fucking grey all this is. So, like,
That's
genuinely, 2 weeks ago, the guys in the workshop were like, they couldn't believe that I was in my late
Secret workshop or the
secret
now
workshop.
just allowed to talk about secret workshop.
No, the secret workshop, the NDA workshop. They couldn't believe that I was in my late 30s and not in, like, they genuinely thought I was in my 20s until I hadn't shaved for 2 weeks, and they were like, holy shit, you're grey. I'm like, yeah, I know. I'm actually the age that I told you I was.
You look way older than you act.
That still doesn't really say much. I spent the entirety of this afternoon like hanging out with a 9-year-old and a 7-year-old because I was more on their level than the adults that were at the party.
It's because
So-
they had those little step things that they were walking around on.
Although I did get my hair plaited by said 9-year-old, and it looks, I don't know if you can see.
Very pretty.
It's tight.
Yeah. Very cool.
It's tight. And also, they don't really understand the concept of like the fact that hair is attached to one's head.
You got to pull tight when you're doing it.
Yeah. They were night
Night to the round table.
How to derail Steve?
I'm now just thinking of the
Exist,
Monty Python thing with the song. Anyway.
Oh yeah, that one. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know the song I mean?
Every
Where
sperm
they're
is
all-
sacred.
No, from
Look on the brighter side of life.
no, from the Holy Grail.
I don't like spam.
So yeah, like genuinely, when I was at the barbecue earlier,
Spam.
There are
They,
Vikings singing spam.
I join in,
How
but I
could
don't
not
know the
say
words.
spam?
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
the end.
At the barbecue earlier, my friend's partner was there, and she was like, "Oh, so what's actually gonna what's happening?" Because there was everyone was going to be driving, so no one was going to be getting drunk or anything like that. And she was like, "So is it basically just going to be everyone sitting around taking the piss out of Steve?" And they were like, "Yeah, pretty much, yeah." And I've just realised that that's basically what every podcast I'm on is as well. Everyone trying to derail me and be mean.
Yeah.
Why you guys are so mean to me?
No, not mean. It's tough love.
Dude, there's no love.
Yeah, sorry. We never really get that far.
It's just tough.
There may not be love, Steve, but there is always aftercare.
Hey. Aftercare is important. Brothers Maker here.
But I think it's a fine example, Steve, really, that British males and other nations tend to only be slightly insulting and abusive on a regular basis to people that they really care for.
Oh yeah.
It's a sign of affection.
Yeah. So there's someone at the workshop at the moment who is a lovely person and really doesn't quite understand the fact that when myself and this guy John that's there are horrible to each other, like just the awful to one another, to the point where he refers to me as a dirty fat raccoon, which
Seems fair.
yeah, and that's just become like his term of endearment for me. And she's like, "But why is he so mean?" I'm like, "That's not mean. That's him being nice. If he said that I was a really like upstanding guy, then I'd be worried and kind of insulted." But yeah, what is it except me? Hang on, sorry, I've just read the chat.
What?
January.
I'm still trying to catch up with the chat. That's why I'm
I'd given up on
Yeah,
this chat a long time ago.
So I'm not sure what's happened, but that's unfair. This is obviously the time to mock Rasmus. Yeah, we are. Except Rasmus. Totally agree. Except Steve. What?
Don't worry about it. Just move on.
Yeah. See,
That segues beautifully into.
I saw a story recently about it. It was there was a guy who passed away. I think it was American.
Was it Rudyard Kipling?
No, it wasn't Rudyard Kipling.
Yeah.
Or
Is it Ray Stevenson?
Rudyard Kipling. Apparently, he was named after the place where his parents met and fell in love.
Rudyard.
Ah,
It was in the
Rudyard Lake.
in the woodland.
It was a yard where you go to rut.
Yeah. Right. Anyway, there was this guy. Anyway, so I saw the story recently about a guy. He passed away, and he left to his neighbor, who for years, for decades, he'd been arguing with and fighting with and really sort of to everyone else not getting on. He left kind of $10,000, set of golf clubs and a car. And people were like, what the hell's he in his will? He's left
like
this
a really
guy who he
weird
hated.
kind of
Yeah, he hated this guy and he's left in this
Trump
car,
cooking
pair of golf
ingredients.
clubs and $10,000. Turns out they'd been in the army together and they had been pranking people for decades that they hated each other.
Oh.
And they just spent decades kind of arguing
Yeah.
and shouting at each other. But in reality, they were best buddies.
Yeah.
I was like,
It's a bit like
long-term
Eddie,
prank or what?
Eddie Hall and Robert Oberst in the kind of strongman
Yeah.
community. The same,
Yeah.
just like constantly insulting each other and calling each other
Yeah.
horrible names. And then did a TV show together where they were just like, oh no, we're really good pals.
Yeah.
They cuddled into each other.
But then still were absolute arseholes to each other the entire
Oh,
time. It's
completely.
great. Yeah. But yeah, that's because men really struggle with showing affection, so we have to do it by being dicks to one another.
Yeah.
So it's because society's stupid.
No, you're stupid.
I love you too, Raz.
There we go.
There we go.
Be the change you want to see in the world.
So you see, actually teaching. I spent most of my career.
Horrible to the kids.
I spent I spent
Show them you really care. I really, really care.
75% of my career teaching in boys-only schools, and boys will, they'll fight and argue, and the next day they're best mates again. It's like, but when you teach, having taught in girls only and mixed schools, when girls tend to kind of, if they fight, it's like and it's just months of dealing with the fallout.
Yeah. So women
Yeah,
ruin it all.
I'm not saying that.
Men have very bad memory. That's it.
Sorry, who are you?
What?
Oh God.
Red, actually, question for Red. I mean, four of us Brits here, and we're used to that idea of male friends we will insult and think. Are male French the same? Do you insult your friends?
It's all
Oh,
everyone,
yeah.
don't they?
Yeah, exactly.
I know,
French.
yeah.
Insult everyone.
insulting
People we
is
like, we
French,
don't like.
yes.
Yeah. The French
Yeah,
are an insult. It's fine.
Well, I mean,
No,
pardon
yes,
our French,
absolutely.
that's what we normally say, don't we?
Yeah, we constantly do that with my best friend, the French friend. We constantly take the piss at each other, and that's a way to show affection to each other.
I love the fact that you had to quantify that it wasn't your best friend, but it's your best French friend.
Yeah, absolutely. That's my best French friends because I have best friends all over the world thanks to you and these communities. That's great. I have one in Germany.
I mean, does
One
your
in
French friends know
Norway?
this, or do they still think they are your best friend?
I don't tell them anything. Because, it's like
I haven't spoken in years.
yeah, exactly. I have to protect that friendship by not saying anything about my other friends as well. Like,
If you can't say anything nice, don't say anything.
exactly. That's the idea. Yeah. No, them. You guys
Steve's
are
not
quick.
middle aged. Steve's not middle aged. Niall, he's in his
I was going to
20s.
say we've had a question. Yeah, Neil from NMB Woodworks has asked. There's an internet theory that most podcasts are hosted by middle-aged white males with beards. Discuss.
I contest.
Ta-da!
I'm not middle-aged.
Yet.
You don't count. And Emperor doesn't
you're
have a
only
beard.
3 raccoons in a t-shirt.
I'm
What's
not sure I'm
middle-aged?
middle-aged anymore either. Yeah.
Middle age is what? About 40
Eh,
and above?
it depends how long you live.
That's true.
Ooh, good point.
Yeah.
Good point.
Don't come here with philosophy.
It's not philosophy; it's fact. But
You'd only be retrospectively middle-aged.
yeah, exactly. It's like you can have a midlife crisis at 25 if you want. Just die at 50. I was talking to a friend just now, and we've not known each other for very
French
long.
friend or just friend?
No, an actual friend, not a French friend.
I like the
Just
just
now,
now,
while
in
you
the
were
last
in the-
54 minutes we've been here.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've not known each other very long, and they asked what I was up to tonight. I was like, "Oh, I'm just doing this, and this," and I'm supposed to be recording a podcast. And they're like, "I didn't know you're on a podcast." I'm like, "I'm white male and in my 30s. Of course, I'm on a podcast. Like that's it's just a standard thing." But yeah, Neil should be on a podcast.
Neil is standing Jamie for whenever I need an evening off. He's a better version of I am. Me.
We should get him on our podcast.
See, words.
Yeah, you should.
You should.
Yeah.
Mhm.
If we don't get him first.
Mhm.
Dun, dun, dun.
No, you get him on first, and then we'll steal it as an idea, and then get him on.
Exactly. Yeah, and then because then.
Okay.
I can listen to your show and I can be like, oh, we should ask him about this. We should ask about that, and I can come up with all these better questions and better things to talk about. And then when we actually get,
hold
on.
I don't wait, let me finish. Let me finish. And then by the time,
Can I finish?
and by the time we get to the actual episode, I'll have forgotten all of them.
Spam.
You didn't even need to finish that sentence, Dave.
You're
Okay,
I've
finished.
finished your sentence. This is like actually going out to the public, and
Public's a relative term.
See the top right, the red thing, top left,
Yeah.
right, red thing says
Yeah.
live.
yeah,
That
It's
means
the number next to it that's I
Yeah.
think, slightly.
That means with the number that keeps going up, that means that it's going out to the public right now.
Although 19 viewing and we've still only got 6 thumbs ups on the video.
shocking.
Oh, what a disgrace!
Hang on.
Have they even dinged that bell, or whatever you do? I don't know what you do.
Like and subscribe.
Like, share, and subscribe.
There we go.
Yeah.
Fuck you guys, because I shared and I even tagged all of you in it. And
Oh,
Live as well.
that clock's going up. I thought it was going down, and this was like Saw, and that's how long.
One of you will be eliminated.
yeah, I've shared it, and
You have.
some people have viewed it. So nah, I even put a link to the episode because I'm clever.
Even better.
I just didn't do it before we started recording. That's all.
That's all right.
Yeah.
You really, really struggle with the not being a podcast host, don't you?
Yeah, massively. And the idea of not having a topic,
Every time we've been on a guest on anyone's fucking show, Steve's like, well, "Can it be about me instead?"
it's not about me. It's just
You like to talk.
no.
You like to be the centre of attention.
I like to fill the gaps so that nobody else is feeling uncomfortable and awkward.
You can fill my gaps
Yeah.
and make me feel uncomfortable.
I definitely recording that and saving that as an audio clip.
You text alert.
Yeah.
No, it's because I
Look,
I don't like
Yeah.
dead air, so I always try to keep the conversation going, and I don't like other people's. See, there you go. I did a thing.
We can only
Yeah.
apologise.
Jeremiah is here because Steve shared it.
Yeah, because like awkward silences make me feel awkward, and I don't want other people to feel awkward, so I'll talk over it. And also, like if you're doing when we're doing a podcast, if there's a lull in conversation, obviously dead air is not a great thing to have on a podcast. So I'm used to just kind of talking and
you guys
filling that
edit.
space. We don't. We literally go through, cut out the cold open, put in the intro music, cut out the 20 minutes where I'm trying to find someone to spiff, and put in the spiff music, and that's it. And sometimes remember to cut the end off. I have actually forgotten to cut the end off a couple of times, but
Yes.
yeah. But yeah, it's
But we enjoy that.
It's a
We
very,
enjoy
very
that.
quick edit. Good.
Yeah. We enjoy getting that uncut end.
Yeah. But yeah, we don't edit that much, and that's why I try to fill that dead air, because
And Steve, look at Red and me. We are comfortable sitting here in silence
I'm not.
and just enjoying the carnage that is you.
Well, to be
Just
fair,
wind Steve up and let him have it.
To be fair, I don't really have the time to speak because Steve is like a shotgun, throwing stuff
All right,
to the
I'm going to
audience.
stop.
No, no, that's a good thing. I was just thinking like 10 minutes ago that the rhythm is very different in our podcast with Raz and Jan, and the way I feel now between Steve and Al being very quick at answering to each other is probably the way Jan is feeling sometimes when Raz and I are talking in the show.
Could be,
it,
yeah.
it could be, but it's very enjoyable. But it's nice. I'm quiet. I'm listening. I'm having a good time. That's great. Doesn't mean that you have to shut up, Steve. You can keep on going, please.
But as I say, now I feel like I have to say something because you've said to talk, and I feel like that's on me.
Talk, monkey, talk.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, okay, I'll keep going then. Sorry.
So when can you talk about the secret thing that you are doing at the moment?
When it's out in cinemas.
Oh, sorry.
So it's a film.
Yeah. So you've.
I mean, when the project is released to the public.
Okay.
I mean, I'm allowed to say that it's a film, and I'm allowed to say that it's a Ridley Scott film. That's all I think I'm allowed to say publicly.
So you just have to Google what's the next Ridley Scott movie in production, and you'll know what it is about.
Yeah, exactly. And what I didn't realize is I mean, I know that like the film industry is a very bizarre place, but they didn't actually cast any of the actors other than like 2 of them, which they had to do because it was part of the other film that's involved in the thing. But they didn't cast any actors until like literally the last couple of weeks.
So what happens is someone else that knows what you are working on tells the public what you are actually working on. Doesn't break your NDA, right?
Or if somebody was to Google live, what's the current Ridley Scott film that's being worked?
No, I just can't say it. I mean, I don't mind.
Well, I mean, I happen to know from before Steve was under the NDA from someone else. So, I mean,
so it doesn't count. You can say it.
I could.
Have you signed an NDA, Jamie?
But,
have you?
No.
But I wasn't technically supposed to know. So basically, if I shouldn't have been told what the film was until after I'd signed the NDA. So the person that told me was breaking their NDA by telling me, and then I was breaking the NDA by passing on. So basically, if it gets backtracked to it being me or person above me, then we could potentially get into problem.
I mean,
thanks, John.
We could possibly.
Yep. Yes, and then.
Yeah.
I mean, I was going to say, like, we could just go on IMDb and just look on Ridley Scott and say the name of movies that are upcoming and just see when he twitches.
Again,
Napoleon.
No. Again, you could, but I would quite like to continue working in this industry. So maybe don't.
I mean, so it's Steve. Are you allowed to say the fact that you're doing leatherwork stuff there?
Yes. No. It'd be really awkward if I said no.
It's a very kinky version of Alien.
This is the thing. One of the things I can say is I was supposed to be going on as a trainee leatherworker, but I basically have done very little actual leatherwork. I've become the problem solver for the production, or not for the production, for our workshop. So anything that breaks, anything that's not gone right, anything that someone's done wrong that needs fixing and isn't within their normal remit, just comes to me. Like, there's a constant chorus of Steve throughout the workshop, throughout the day, to the point where like the kind of bosses, the guys in charge, don't really expect me to finish the jobs that they assign me in a timely manner, because they know that I'm just getting constantly dragged aside to fix other people's problems. And like even little things like I was over in one of the other workshops doing some welding the other day. I'd been gone for like maybe half an hour. Came back over, and everyone was like, "Oh shit, Steve, the compressor's not working. Can you fix it? What's going on? We've tried this, we've tried that. We can't figure out what's going on." And it was literally just a case of the valve letting the air, like the valve at the very front of the compressor, wasn't switched on. Like that was it. And I just kind of went along and was like, right, okay, what? Like quickly checked this, and this. Right, okay, so is that valve on? Go, or I was actually going to make sure that it was actually connected. Check that. I was like, oh, the valve working. And so I've just seen James.
Yeah. We are having fun watching you just go all off on yourself.
Do you want to rephrase that one, Russ?
Yeah.
No, I'll let that one be. I realize what I said, but I'll stick to it.
Thank you. But yeah, anyway, like just and lots of little things like that. Like, so I'm just let's say the problem solver of the group, the one that's got a little bit of knowledge about a lot of things. That's just allowing me to sort things out for them. So yeah, it's been quite good and quite interesting doing that, and basically being a professional maker rather than a specific leatherwork or anything. Although I have got to do a little bit of leatherworking. I made Murphy a collar. He was very excited. He got very barky about that.
Very nice one.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. I think the next one needs to be actually stitched though, rather than just riveted. But again, that was just lack of time because we're working 12-hour days and like you get a 10-minute afternoon break, and that's when the collar got done. But yeah, it's good fun.
Nice. I've got to say, I'm looking forward to Blade Runner 3, to be honest.
I so wish it was Blade Runner 3. That'd be amazing. I still haven't seen the second one, though. I still haven't seen 2042.
You've not seen Soldier with Kurt Russell? Technically, it's canon.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I've not seen 2042, just because when it first came out, I was a bit dubious, and
it's most good.
Yeah, well, I think it was you that originally said to me that it was actually quite good, and I was like, okay, I will watch it. But I'm also kind of waiting to go visit you to watch it because your TV and sound system is better than mine.
Good idea.
And normally when
I liked it.
Yeah,
I liked it.
Mm-hmm. What I like about watching a film with Al is either if it's a comedy, we'll both laugh at the same stupid shit. If it's not a comedy, we will quite happily just not talk throughout the film. Mostly because Al normally falls asleep, but
as in films as they're meant to be watched.
Yeah,
you can watch the film.
Yeah, like I love people and I love my friends, but if you talk during a film, I'm gonna want to throw things at you. Especially if it's like something that's not related to the film. I can understand turning around and being like, "What happened there? What was this?" Like asking a genuine question. But if it's just like, "So I was thinking about this other thing that's completely unrelated and I want to talk about it for 10 minutes."
Just, in that case, just stop hanging out with Gen Z.
It's not even Gen Z. It's just people. Like, yeah.
Careful, you're turning French.
You're allowed to just say Raz, Jimmy. You don't have to.
Yeah.
I almost thought that would just fly by.
How old are you?
Me?
What?
Yeah, you.
I'm 31.
No, you're not.
I keep telling him that. He's
Yeah,
not.
you're going to take 10 years off that. Yeah.
He's 13, turning 14 soon.
Yeah. Like,
officially. That's what's been said in the podcast. So.
Yeah.
Oh, is that canon?
Yeah, it is. Totally is. It's recorded, aired, and people know about it. So
you were definitely born after the new millennium, so you can't be in your 30s. That's just not.
Yeah, but the worrying thing is the fact that the pair of you both sort of give off the same energy of mid-teens.
Fucking Labradors.
I'll take that as a compliment.
Yeah. Yeah.
I still remember 9/11 though.
What a horrible thing to bring up.
Well, it didn't happen here.
This is true.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, that's fine. But yeah, it is weird though. I do think of you as being a lot younger, and I don't know why.
I honestly, I get that a lot.
And it's because you've known him since he was a lot younger, and you've got that kind of object permanence of you are still the age that you were when I first met you.
My friend Meg, she's getting married, and she's like 30. Wait, how old am I? She's
37.
She's 30.
How old are you, Steve? Tell us.
She's 33.
No. How old are you, Steve?
We need to establish canon for that.
Yeah, we need a reference.
I'm
age.
37.
Okay.
Is
See,
that the final answer?
You-
50-50? Call a friend?
Jamie nodded. I'm 37. That's fine.
I'd already said it as well.
Oh, fuck's sake!
But see, Steve, I see you way younger than that. So it might be the same phenomenon with Rasmus. You seem younger than
Red,
he is.
this is what will blow your mind: is the fact that me and Steve are only 3 days apart.
Yeah,
Steve's 3 days younger than me.
Yeah,
No,
I think I
weird.
already knew that, but I'm still blown away each and every time that I hear about that.
Yeah. I always find it weird that Al's older than me as well.
Hey!
I just screwed up this beautiful 6-person grid.
Yeah.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
I'm listening to Steve talk about not editing our podcast, which only he does, by the way.
Only not editing.
He's the only one that doesn't actually edit, but, good on you, Steve.
For the benefit of the audio-only listeners, Brett has just arrived.
That's me.
Brett has appeared.
Jimmy, can you
You have
rearrange?
to arrive from dinner now.
Where would you like him?
No, Brett was perfectly fine. I want Steve in the middle, so we have a black,
yeah,
black,
yeah.
red, and white in the middle.
Oh, we can all Brady Bunch Steve.
And yeah, we can just point at him to. Yeah,
Now I feel more awkward. Fuck.
Good. Good.
That,
Steve.
You are the center of attention against it.
No,
Fuck
you're
you
you're
guys.
the eye of the storm.
Nice and
Hey,
calm and peaceful.
Jamie.
and centered.
I've got a list of notes that I need to send you that are all reminders for you to remind me of things. Can you put that on your plate, please?
All right, Nickelback.
Nickelback. Love that.
And in case anyone was wondering, Jan has been invited.
Yeah.
Jan
Has he
was
got a red
invited.
T-shirt on though? That's the question because we can't fuck this grid up now.
Jan had a better offer from his wife.
Ooh,
No, that was the wording. That was the exact right phrase to say.
Yeah.
I was about to say you can't leave that like that, Andy, but fuck it, he's not
No.
here.
Yeah. And he's German. He doesn't
I
want
think
to know
I'm.
what you're
I
saying.
think I'm 2/3 of a bottle through of red wine.
Yeah, I'm definitely considering running to the kitchen and grabbing another bottle of cider.
I have a bottle of tequila that I wanted to try.
nope. No. Not a
Well,
good
not
idea.
the whole bottle. I mean, with the contents of the bottle.
Okay.
You're not going to eat the glass. We know that.
I
No,
did
with
say
the
I was
conversation with
hungry.
goats earlier, it could go anyway.
Who said eat? Who said eat?
Oh.
Moving on.
Yes. So anyway, Brett, what have you been up to this week?
Yes.
Are we doing our podcast now?
Yes.
Pretty much.
Okay.
If you'd been here at the beginning, you would know this.
I was listening to something.
Thank you, Al. That's great.
Oh, wow.
Who did that? Oh,
Who
Al,
did you
I've just
think?
seen it. Yeah. Fuck's sake.
You can see it in the corner of his frame too. I love it.
Yeah. I really wish you'd done the Red Dwarf thing of putting the eye on your chin and doing.
Target
Oh,
doll.
that's great.
Yeah. Which
I
Brett,
think Al's
you would
just gotta do
understand
the-
if you'd watched Red Dwarf by now.
I'm
Have you started
working on
watching
it.
it yet? Have you started watching it yet?
I genuinely have it queued up. Like today is going to be probably Red Dwarf
Yes.
catch-up day. I needed to run errands this
Ketchup
morning.
on a lobster.
Brown ketchup.
Ketchup. Again,
It'll make sense in about 15 episodes' time.
yeah.
That's fair.
Oh, that's brilliant. Right,
Yes.
you guys, Karen, I'm just going to go get some cider.
Oh, finally we can talk.
Yeah.
So
He's
Brett,
gone.
how
He's
are
gone.
you, sir?
Yes.
I am good, busy, and still recovering a little bit. For anybody that was concerned with my moment of
Yeah,
actual piracy,
Can
Yeah.
you see us now?
that was
And
rough.
that seemed dodgy.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if anybody else has ever actually dealt with that. Like more people message me that have had that same issue, but the fuck is Steve showing right now?
No, this is the closest thing I had to a red shirt. So there we go.
I think it
Why?
is a fan toy of Jamie.
Give me a couple of years and I'll be there.
There you
Yeah.
go.
I think you'll actually find this is my model of John D. Harvey that I keep by the desk.
Oh, all right. Yeah. Sorry,
That
my
makes a lot
bad.
of sense. patron saint of Steve.
Oh, nobody should watch
No,
the
Steve, shut up.
American
Brett,
Red
go
Dwarf.
on.
Sorry.
Yeah, the two American Red Dwarf things are awful.
Absolutely terrible.
Fair enough.
I didn't know they'd made one. I don't think that's.
They did
that
2
may
pilot
be
episodes.
Yeah, it might be my brain trying to ignore it rather than strangling itself.
Wonderful.
It's definitely dwarful.
So I don't know if 3D printers have the same issue or any of the stuff that you've done, maybe Jamie, but taking a bit of hot metal in the eye will really ruin your day/weekend/week.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I genuinely wear safety glasses all the time, but that feels like the last 2 weeks of my life have been dealing with recovery from after the doctor. I mean, there was a ton of like nonsense that went into it because of American healthcare, but once I actually got the thing removed and he showed it to me, and it was almost too small to see with the naked eye, no pun intended, but
Oh shit! Yeah, you got something in your eye. Sorry.
it was really bad, and it was right. You were gone, Steve. Don't worry about it.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. So after he ended up taking it out, he just gave me the whole like, well, you're good now. Wear a patch for a day, and then do some eye drops, and it'll sort itself out. But I'd never dealt with anything like that before. Jesus.
Who was that?
And then I don't know. It wasn't me, but I did not realize how much of a bother that could be. And he goes, yeah, maybe 2 more days if you would have let it sat. It was right over my cornea, and he was like, it could have gotten to the point where your vision would have legit been impaired for the rest of your life. And so it really just, I don't know. I put a little reminder up of my Instagram stories because I was sharing with the patron stuff, but oh my God, I never want to deal with that again. And all of us that do metal work, like it seems like it should happen a lot more often than it does. But if you wear safety glasses, you dodge 99% of that. And they told me it was kind of a fluke considering how long I've been doing it without an issue. But a day later, 3 days ago, I got some really awesome kickback from my table saw doing woodworking, which is a reminder that woodworking is stupid and no one should ever do it.
Yeah.
So
Steve's always,
I can definitely attest to that because I think the same day or maybe the day before.
You cut yourself or got something in your eye.
No, I had a splinter under my eyelid that so it went in, had that the next day I was like, well, I can't open my eye or see or drive. So missed the day of work, went into the opticians to get it looked at. They had a look and were like, oh yeah, there's nothing there, it's fine, and gave me some eye drops and said, oh, you'll be fine. Nothing helped, didn't clear up. Went back in the next day, and yeah, it was basically they had to turn my eyelid upside down, like inside out, and the guy was like, do not move at all, because he'd seen it and was like reaching over to the side whilst also keeping my eyelid flipped open, grabbed a cotton swab and just kind of like picked out this splinter with this cotton swab, and it was instant relief. I've had I've had rust rings in my eye, which is one of the most painful things I've ever experienced, because that was getting a bit in my eye, and then obviously it rusted, and it was just the fucking worst thing ever. I've had several bits of metal in my eye, including one that was dead center of my pupil, and they had to come in with a needle from the side and literally just go. That was
That
awful.
was the fun part, is him telling me, "Don't move."
Yeah.
And sticking a needle in the side of my eye,
Yeah.
and then going pop.
Yeah, that's where you just pick a point on the wall and just stare at it intently, like it's a bagel.
Yes.
I really like bagels. But yeah, this one, it was the worst fucking thing I've ever had. But the relief was legitimately instantaneous. As soon as that thing was out, I was just like, I can see the world is wonderful. And then everyone at the office, at the workshop, had to remind me about the fact that I need to keep taking said. That's a beautiful angle. I need to keep taking the eye drops because I cannot remember to do things for myself. And
You need to put them in your eye, Steve. Not.
Did
like,
you
drink
have
them
Jamie at that point in time?
no, I had like 4 other people in the workshop being like, Steve, have you taken your eye drops today? No. Do it now. I'll do it in a sec. No, do it now. Okay.
Can I tell my eye story? Which
Yes.
it's
don't know why are you
negligible
asking me?
compared to yours, but I managed to get well spatter on my contact lens.
Fuck that, dude.
I
Yeah,
mean,
no
I
thanks.
was. It's one of the curious things where it's like I noticed something going on my eye, and then my eye just keeps blinking, and it's just like this is weird. What's going on?
Yeah.
And then I just after a while just take the contacts out. And oh yeah, there's a black dot on it now.
Fuck. You are so lucky. Were you wearing glasses at the time as well?
Yeah. No, well, not glasses, just a full welding helmet.
Yeah. Shit, man. That's
Maybe that's what I have to do. I should get contacts, because it's like
Yeah.
wearing 2 layers.
Just
of
layer it
protection,
up.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've always heard
contacts,
you
yeah.
double
and
up
safety
on
glasses.
things.
If only we had 1001 holes.
Thank
Another
you.
Futurama reference, Andy.
Wait, Andy hasn't seen Futurama.
No,
No, Brett needs Red
No, no.
Dwarf. Andy needs Futurama. We need to just do a
Yeah.
watch party.
Yeah, Futurama's brilliant.
at the same time. Yeah.
Yeah, watch.
Oh, they sync up. It's you know,
Yeah,
like Dark
apparently,
Side of the Moon
yeah.
and Wizard of Oz type stuff. It's really
It was often my way of explaining to people that Futurama was good. It was like, well, it's like Red Dwarf. You go on a different adventure every episode. It's great.
Yeah.
But if we want eye stories, my first year of science teaching, I had a class. Oh, it was a high school, so a secondary modern in kind of the old days. So there was a grammar school in the area, so they weren't the most able students. And I had a young lady in that class who, and it was probably I think it was set 3 or 4. Didn't want to follow instructions like wear safety glasses because they didn't look cool enough apparently. And it was we were doing an experiment where we were evaporating, we were recrystallizing sodium chloride from solution. So basically making salt
Making
crystals.
salt, yeah.
Yeah. By evaporating in a crystallizing dish on a Bunsen burner. Now the problem is if you're a little bit too aggressive with your heating on the Bunsen burner, salt does have a tendency to spit. This young lady, who would now be in her 40s, didn't want to,
Would now be in her
Yeah.
40s. What do you
would
mean?
now be in their 40s. Well, hopefully she is.
glasses would not have saved her.
Hopefully she is in her 40s. Didn't want to wear the safety glasses. And every time I sort of turned around and looked whether she would safety glasses went back up on the head rather than actually over her eyes. Until there was that moment when there was a and I've got something in my eye.
How did it
Because
go?
she hadn't. Yeah, I can't do it twice. She had. Yeah, she got a bit of sodium chloride in the eye. Sodium chloride in the eye. Okay, not quite as bad as a bit of welding spatter, but she wasn't wearing contact lenses either. Salt in the eye is a bit sore, particularly when
Do you
it's
have some sort of saline
salt.
solution to wash it out with, Andy?
Yeah, there was the. Yeah, she wasn't.
Science
She wasn't very happy when the eye wash station got involved. Yes. Luckily, I didn't quite have to kind of eye wash stations normally. You often have to stick. I was going to say patient, casualty in a headlock in order to use an eye wash station. Generally,
Like a cat with eye drops.
Yeah, they don't like it.
Or any medication.
Yeah.
Do you still say eye drops when the cat's got one eye?
Eye drop.
Oh.
No,
Eye
we
drop.
Use Samsung drops. So my eye story, right? These like little toy tunnel for cats, right? You know, you can get like full size ones for humans,
Yeah.
like kids, like play ones. I think it was from IKEA, right? When I was a kid. And
It's Swedish. We don't care.
The way you this is yellow and blue. The way you put them together is you squish up the spring like this, and then it's got little ties, and you tie them up. And I was a kid, and I was putting it together like this, and the spring ripped out of the perished nylon because it wasn't UV resistant, and the whole thing, basically, it was about 12 feet long, and it just basically expanded and went straight into my eyeball and punctured my eyeball and was just hanging out of my eyeball. And
Nice.
yeah, but luckily it was on the front lawn of a nurse. But it was the same nurse whose son, they had a Viner armor, and he used to let it lick peanut butter off his balls. So I didn't really trust her. But I didn't go blind. It was a miracle. I did wear an eye patch for about a month at school.
From the peanut butter or from the.
How
spray?
do you know that? Like, did he announce it? Did you catch it?
Oh, he did it in front of us when we were watching wrestling one night. he thought it was fucking hilarious. It's like, no, dude, that's not nice.
Fucking hell.
We've hit the point in
Wow.
the podcast where it is derailed completely.
Oh no!
Thanks,
Brett,
Al.
Were you
were
not
never-
listening to
That
the first half?
happened a
We
while
did
ago.
not start on the rails.
No. Yeah. But
I'm staying quiet on the eye stories, but my my brother has had the full shebang of everything in the eyes with welding and grinding and things, to the point where they've taken the eyeball out to put it into a little cup wash in front of his face.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I'll have a pass on that one.
Yeah, he said it's a very bizarre experience looking straight forward and straight down at the same time
Like a
Oh my
chameleon.
God.
into a bowl of orange goop.
Ugh.
Yeah, I definitely always make sure I have safety glasses.
Aye.
That was drummed into me when I was young.
Did they like put a spoon up in
Pretty
behind
much.
the eye? Ugh.
Why a spoon, cousin?
I worked with a guy once. It was an interesting chap to work with. If we ever got any overtime on a Saturday, he'd turn up drunk and never do any work. But he would. His uncle was a plasterer, lifelong plasterer. That's all he'd ever done. And apparently, he'd had to have both eyeballs popped out in order to remove the plaster dust from behind.
At the same time.
Possibly
Like a
one at a
stress
time,
toy.
but certainly in the same. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know whether you want them both at the same time just for a bit of continuity or.
Yeah.
At least get you to tilt forward so they both keep down.
Yeah.
I'm guessing from the surgeon's point of view, it's probably one at a time. It's probably easier to deal with.
Quick!
Although,
You do the left one, I'll do the right one.
although if you got the tool in your hand for popping an eyeball out, you may as well do the other one while you're at it.
Just have them hanging down like that.
I just want a boiled egg now.
Oh my God.
Lychee.
Oh.
Red, we need a nice story from you.
I got splinter in my right eye one day, and same story. It was just not splinter, not a wood splinter, just I was grinding something, and metal got in the right eye. Pain was atrocious, and went to the doctor, removed it with a tool, and it was instant relief, and that's it. I survived, and nothing very exciting compared to what you just said, but yeah.
Yeah. As I say, it's quite mean to try and get him to follow up on. I had to pop both eyeballs out. Like,
I'm
I'm just
just
going to
consider
pop out the third
like
one.
general like scale of escalation as it's gone up as
Yeah.
well.
I
Sorry
just
about that.
remember to put a trigger warning on the episode when I launch it tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
I mean, Steve is here.
I mean, we started off with goats, Raz.
Yeah, you started it.
No,
Yeah,
I
Waffle.
was sitting in a meadow with goats. That's fine.
You
That's
were-
normal.
You were cuddling up to goats while you were going to sleep. That's different.
They're really nice and warm.
Tender lovers.
It was the
A bit
ferocity with which you said that. Like, they are nice and they are warm. Yeah. Also, your steps are too narrow. You should have made them wider.
Context?
Narrow
sorry,
which
Raz.
way?
That way.
So yeah, okay.
Tread
Not
depth.
deep enough.
Yes, tread depth. There we go.
Okay,
That way. Yeah.
I did
So,
my
yeah,
job
on the
for
angle.
me.
to be fair, man, like that whole area looks fucking incredible now, and I really wish I'd been there when you were working on it. I mean, not to do any of the work, just to. Like,
I
be
wouldn't
there.
expect you to anyway.
No,
Sorry,
God, no.
insults and take
Yeah, exactly. Just to enjoy it. But yeah, it looks fucking incredible. Like I'm really hoping you get to come back over and actually enjoy that space at some point because
Yeah.
that was good.
I mean,
So-
I'll bring quick lunch, and the security guards at the airport will just let me through. So
It's perfect.
yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. For context, for those that don't know what me and Raz are talking about, which is basically everyone.
I know.
Yeah. Yes. Okay.
I know too.
We all right for the listeners then.
I don't care. Does that matter?
No,
I wasn't
no.
listening.
Yeah, that's fine.
Jamie?
When Raz came over
I
for
already knew about
before
Get in.
the event that cannot be talked about.
What?
Spam.
Go.
Mystery Workshop.
Switch item line.
At the workshop that can be talked about, at Joe's workshop, Raz came
Thornwood.
over and helped
Thornwood.
with the at Thornwood Forge. Thank you. Raz came over and helped with the barbecue area that is now going to become our lunch area, which is also going to be used for some of the courses which we are going to run in the summer. It basically just spent a week clearing off a load of brush, leveling it all out, building a fire pit, building a log storage, making a table, covering the whole area in wood chips, building a thing, and it looks fucking phenomenal now. And this week just gone, Joe also installed a old sail from a yacht.
Oh, you got it up.
Yeah, finally
that
got
sounds
it up. Yeah.
I installed the sail.
Yeah. So we've now got this like really nice canopy above it, and it looks so good. And I cannot wait to be able to share that place properly because it's fucking incredible. And Raz had a huge hand in that, and Joe is incredibly thankful for your help. I mean, he's only got tiny hands. I am also very thankful that you came along and helped out, and I really appreciate it. So thank you, Raz.
Any
You're
excuse to
welcome.
dodge doing the work yourself, Steve.
Yeah, 100%. That's why I'm thankful, because I didn't have to do it. Because otherwise, I would have had to have dug the holes and cleared the weeds, and I don't want to do that. Yeah,
It was almost a compliment. I'll try to take it.
I was nice. Fuck you.
Yeah, I don't know how to deal with that.
And we're
haven't
back
been
to the
trained in it.
insults again.
Yeah.
Because men are rubbish and can't express emotions.
Or it's autism.
Yeah, that as well.
Yeah. I mean,
Um,
it's not helping, probably.
Yeah. Little column A, little column B. you know.
Yeah.
It's like PB and J, except not as tasty. I want a sandwich now. Have you bagels?
Stale donuts.
Peanut butter and chocolate spread.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So the guys in the workshop had never tried that, and I was like, "What do you mean you've never tried that? We've got peanut butter and Nutella here. Just mix the two together." And they looked at me like I was
too clarty. You're already getting your nut intake with Nutella. The clue's in the name. You don't need extra nuts.
Yeah, but it's good, especially with like a cashew butter. That's it's good.
That's too middle class for me, Steve. That.
Yeah, I want like a macadamia butter.
That would be awful. What are you talking about? Macadamia is so bland.
You might as well just
What-
put
You want tasty
Vitalite on it.
Vitalite.
Okay, controversial. Marmite and honey on toast.
Now, Marmite belongs in the same place that Bovril does, which is in the bin with the ketchup.
No, Marmite is delicious, and I will have no bad word said about it. Marmite and cheese, yes. Marmite and honey, that's a new one.
Oh, try it.
Ooh.
Sounds like a teriyaki, English teriyaki.
Yeah, it really is. So, all right, here's a question for you then: crumpets, sweet or savoury?
Either. Happy with both.
See, I've only ever had them sweet because everyone's been putting Marmite and eggs on crumpets.
No,
I'm
don't
like,
put
what
eggs
are you
on
doing?
them. You can melt cheese on them and have
Yeah,
Marmite.
exactly. So controversial on the crumpet topic. Pikelets.
What?
They're just thin crumpets.
Yeah, they're just
What's a
thinner.
It's what
It's
people
like
in Yorkshire, they couldn't afford real crumpets, so they
Yeah.
Think like crumpets that don't go all the that don't fully crump.
so not crumpets. they're like American pancakes but with loads of holes in.
Yes, it is a cross between like a Scotch pancake and a crumpet.
Which an American pancake
drop's gone.
is. Yeah, an American pancake is an American pancake. It's not a flapjack. A flapjack has oats in it. Americans are
delicious.
wrong. Yes, exactly.
This is
I'll
just
have-
a weird food podcast, a weird British food podcast at this
Welcome to Fools with Tools.
No,
Wait,
what we've done is
welcome to Maker's Waffle.
We waited for Brett to arrive, then we stopped insulting the Europeans and started insulting the Americans.
Fucking French.
What?
point.
It's
He's
pardon.
awake.
I'm still listening.
I really wish I hadn't had a mouthful of cider then. Yes. Norway sucks.
It's sprinkles.
What sprinkles?
Sprinkles on toast. It's
I
like the
just like-
worst textural combination you can imagine. You have like
Isn't
dry
that-
toast, and then you just put crispy, dry sprinkles on the toast with cold,
that a
unmelted
Dutch
margarine. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Nobody
weird.
likes it, but they pretend it's like sentimental. It's not sentimental. It's miserable.
Yeah. I am not French.
I tell you,
Yes, you are.
I think
Very
Dutch.
well,
I tend to think of stroopwafels.
They're
Yes.
delicious.
They are
Yeah.
delicious.
As are oliebollen.
What's
Bless you.
oliebollen?
It's their
Oliebollen?
version of donuts, and they're literally called oil balls. Oliebollen. They're like donuts, but twice as greasy.
Ooh, that sounds delicious. Like
Like the ones that you get at the
Fairground.
carts
Exactly
in the-
like that.
Yeah,
what a donut now.
With puder sauker,
What?
with powdered sugar.
Oh.
And then your whole face is covered in powdered sugar. It's like
Ah.
a scene from Casino.
I was thinking Scarface, but sure.
I wasn't sure where it was going to go, to be honest.
I think it's something Tarantino based.
Yeah, there's no feet involved. Pizza.
Back to my first school. One of the only good things about my first school, it was a
all the
rubbish
cocaine.
school. It was rubbish. There was so much wrong with that school. But one of the good things about that school, at least for a time, because it wasn't the entire time that I was there. I was there for 3 years. But on a Friday break time, they would have fresh donuts.
What?
In the staff room. They were literally hot out of the fryer.
Was it Police Academy?
Hey, did
No,
you say in
it
the
was in the
just to
staff room?
clarify, in the staff room? Okay.
In the staff room,
right, okay.
they would have they did kind of a sort of a tea service type sort of thing, and you could buy on a Friday lunchtime break time rather, you could buy for 50 pence a donut. It would fit in the palm of your hand. It was just the fingers
Like most
open,
donuts,
not kind of
do.
squished. Yes, but
Yeah,
it was
like
good sized donut, and it was
palm
sugary,
sized
and it
or-
was hot, and it was oily, and it was absolutely delicious.
Oh.
It was wonderful, absolutely wonderful.
We had Twinkies out of a bag.
My brain just went to Apu saying you cannot harm a Twinkie.
I was so excited about trying a Twinkie. The first, obviously this was pre gluten free, but I was so excited about it the first time I ever tried one. I was like, oh my god, I can't wait! Tried it and just went, this is just awful.
They used to be better back when I was a child, but they changed all of the ingredients because a bunch of people were just like, everything in them causes cancer, whatever.
Yeah.
So
They
they
have a
changed the
common
recipe
flavor in
quite a
it.
bit, and it's
Welcome to America.
they're bad.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever had one that had any flavor in it. They're all just
No,
Yeah, they
texture.
used to. I mean,
Yeah.
it used to taste like sugary, sweet, creamy sponge cake, but it has completely changed. Now it's just putting the texture of a sponge cake in your mouth, but then nothing happens afterwards.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's like it doesn't engage any kind of flavor receptors in your mouth.
Engage taste buds.
Taste buds. That's the word I was forgetting.
I don't get your sweet thing or sweet food thing. That's just weird to me.
You just
What's
want
the
to
guy that eats chocolate all the time and brings it to every event?
Yeah,
No,
and I don't
eat
eat
it.
any.
That's the problem.
But Tunnock's tea cakes.
Yes.
Yes.
I'd rather have a Tunnock's wafer.
Caramel
Hey,
light.
Caramel
yeah.
wafer.
Caramel
Yeah,
wafer.
but that's a
I
chocolate
miss
bar. That's
those.
not a. That's not a
I
cake.
miss those.
Dark chocolate ones if you can get them.
Mm.
What?
In the blue
They do-
wrapper. Yeah, not the red
blue
ones.
ones, yeah.
The blue ones.
Whoa!
Game
What?
changer.
Yeah.
Step
Where
up
the
your
fuck are
game, Steve.
these? We don't get them down here.
No.
I didn't-
And they do the same. You can get the dark
I didn't
chocolate versions
believe
of the
that-
Sonic's tea cakes.
Whoa.
I didn't believe that because he keeps telling me about puds. I didn't think they were a thing until
they're a thing.
this year when they actually sold them down here. I swear to God, I've never seen them before this year.
Get them in your artisanal outshack road stop crisp shop, whatever it's called, where crisps are £5 a bag.
The trading post.
Yeah, that's the one.
That's the badger.
Ah.
Yeah. I don't know if they, I don't think they'd stock them because it's from Cadbury, not from Carberry or some weird fucking artisanal fucking thing.
Like suddenly you almost had a stroke.
Yeah, but those crisps though, the ham-on crisps. Oh my God, they are like crack. I'm hungry.
And dark chocolate bounty.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
Caramel bars.
again, it's the correct one to have.
John, how have you waited until now to open a bottle of cider? That's
I mean, because
horrible.
it's morning or something silly where he's at.
no, Brett. What time is it there? Wait, you're not. you're the one
1500.
talking. What?
1500.
You use
3 o'clock
proper
in the afternoon.
timing. I'm so proud of you. Okay, that's 1500. So that's
15.
4 hours behind the
3.
East Coast. 3 hours behind the East Coast. So it's
You're doing great
1600.
with your Americanisms, Steve.
it's 6 o'clock. So it's 6 o'clock. That means it's past 5, which means that John should have opened a bottle of cider an hour ago.
I guess that's fair.
So we'll take a couple of minutes
James-
to try and catch up with the chat.
I was going to say, Steve, James has pointed out you're the closest Rajani's of all of us, so you probably
What's-
could
Yes.
tell them there.
What's Rajani?
Brizzle, up Fish Ponds Way, where I used to live. It's the best shop in the whole of Bristol.
What is it?
It's
a corner
what
shop.
happens when it's an Asian family run shop that has expanded out of the British cultural stereotype of being a corner shop that has everything and is warehouse size. So you
Awesome.
can get literally anything in there, like car parts, clothing, furniture, broken biscuits,
Also,
noodles.
It's kind of like Costco then. Also, side note, what is it that they will sell? Because I've forgotten.
Puds and things.
James, which thing that we've been talking about did you mean? Because I have forgotten.
Probably all of the things.
Yeah, maybe he was talking about the Tunnock's wafers, the dark chocolate wafers.
Could be, yeah. They'll definitely sell them now.
I want them now.
I just
Although
wish
I don't think
had...
you can eat them because their wafers are made with wheat. Maybe.
Do the tea cakes, get the dark chocolate tea cakes. You can get them at
whenever Steve
wait, hang on,
decides that his fake allergy is not real anymore, he can go back to eating these things.
You have no idea how much Al broke his headphones.
They were nice as well.
Yeah.
Oh,
What did
no.
you do?
I just sat on them.
You were looking at them.
I sat on them.
Oh, why did you
Oh,
sit on them?
I'm not a juicer. I just look at things and they just chat.
I mean, that hair. It's
Come on,
getting-
Medusa is just misunderstood. She never turned anyone to stone and didn't try to kill anyone. It's the other Gorgons that are bad. Medusa is just misunderstood.
I'm pretty sure she did turn people to stone, though.
Yeah, but not on purpose. No, she was cursed by Zeus to make turn hideous and have people turn to stone.
Can we just all agree that Zeus was a right fucking jeb end? Like,
Yes.
what an asshole! Like,
Yeah, he's just a discount Thor anyway.
like no, Thor's good. Zeus is just a dickhead.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Thor, like, don't get me wrong. Like, Thor.
No,
Thor did
I mean
some
Thor was
dumb
just
shit.
stupid as well.
Yeah. But like, he was just a bit of a lad. Whereas,
No, he was an amazing cross-dresser, I'll have you know.
yes, I give you that. But yeah, most of the stupid shit that Thor did, he was just ladding around. Whereas Zeus was just a fucking
Oh yeah, he was an active
horrible
villain.
person. Yeah. He was intentionally a dickhead.
You keep saying dickhead, but Athena came out of his head. I
Yeah,
don't
because
know.
he had a headache.
Yeah.
It's not the same. Dickhead is not the same as a head dick.
No.
No, Athena was born out of Zeus's head when he had a headache, and
Or
I think it was-
headache, not head dick.
Oh yeah, well, good one. Who was it that cracked his skull open? Was it?
Wasn't it
Hephaestus?
Hephaestus? Yeah.
Yeah,
Hephaestus.
yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Full circle. Hammers.
There we go.
Blacksmiths. Hammer happy.
Everything's a hammer.
Yeah.
And that's
He really can't turn it off, can he?
no.
No, that was the first half an hour of the podcast, which I was riveted for that.
I mean, I was
our
trying to
other
listen to
podcast.
it on the drive back. I had it going in and out of signal, and it was just a lot of Steve talking. I wish the breaks in the signal was happening when he was talking, and then I get to hear everybody else.
Yeah, but you wouldn't have got any of the context then, though.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter. Have you ever listened to one of our episodes before?
No.
Not for a while.
All right. We're
No, that's-
getting there.
come on,
We've been
Steve.
Busy.
Come on, Steve. It would have helped if you have released an episode in
Yeah,
the
that's
a
why
recent while.
we've been busy. Well,
Yes,
me,
He
me and Al's
did. He
been
released
busy.
a.
Yeah.
He released a
Every
2-minute
single time.
apology.
Every single time. Well, me and Al have been busy. Brett sits around all day.
Whoa, fuck
Sticking the
you.
metal out of
No.
his eye.
I said that Brett has been super accommodating and lovely and is always always tries to make himself available, and it's me and Al that have been rubbish. So you pipe down, Mr.
You did say that, and that was very kind of you. I
Fussy
appreciate
Pants. Yes.
Essentially.
Fussy Captain Fussy Pants.
I just think we need to rejig the thing now, don't we? To
No, there we go.
Oh.
See, now it does feel like we're taking over.
yeah.
Yeah. Happy 100, guys. Cheers.
Hey.
Like you
Have
were
you-
trying to
you-
bring that back to a topic.
I mean, we've even done past 100 minutes of episode 100.
It did.
Yeah,
I very
I-
nearly hit the button.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's too late now. I have to go for 200.
And
Yeah.
as a callback, I now have the Chemical Brothers song stuck in my head because you said hit the button. Yep, thank you. But it's only that one line.
continuous callback.
Yeah. Isn't that what like
This is not Sweet Caroline. Yeah.
Sweet child of mine?
Red, are you enjoying the show?
A lot. A lot.
I think
Yeah.
Red is just representing the audience at this point.
Yeah, possibly, yeah.
Quiet and confused.
Just sat there going like,
No.
why am I here? What have I got myself into? Why am I
No.
friends with these people?
Not confused. I'm just quiet because the wife is sleeping, the kid is sleeping, so I'm trying to be quiet. I'm managing the show a lot. So
Good.
yeah, keep on going, guys. I just had a
family is-
cookie.
His
I have a
family
drink.
is
I'm fine.
sleeping, and instead of playing Zelda, he's here, which just seems counterproductive.
Where's
I'm
that
not
link
allowed
above
to play Zelda yet till the kid
Still?
is yeah. He has.
You
to
know how
finish
long
his
it's going to take him to play? I'm like 50 hours in.
Is 135 hours in.
Oh my
Are you fucking serious? Wasn't he at 70 hours on Thursday when we recorded?
Less than 65 hours. ago.
Raz, you cannot complain at anyone for having hours on a game. How many hours do you have on any of those games that you've been
fuck.
playing recently?
I think I'm gonna get some food now.
Yeah.
Steve, they're all 32-bit integers, so they had to stop counting it in hours and just move to weeks.
I'm trying to distract the kid from Zelda so I can play. I introduced him to Skyrim today. So
Here, go outside and let me play this.
no,
This is the
go on my
most
computer and
ridiculous
play
thing.
Skyrim.
He just has a bone with meat on it.
It's Raz's snack. He doesn't do
Yeah.
chocolate, but he just does random legs of
Is-
random animals that he's cuddled.
Yeah,
Is
it's
it
not
a-
a goat. I promise. It's not
Yeah,
gonna
that was
become
the goat.
Can
It's
you
a
imagine?
Sheep
He
or
just-
dicks and
He
stupid.
wasn't cuddling the goats. He was just choke holding them.
He's like softly and quietly put them to sleep so that he can drag them into his vehicle.
So what you're saying is there needs to be some kind of Norwegian national broadcast to just alert all animals to what the safe word is every time Raz is around.
Safe word is nah.
No. Safe word is goat.
I feel like Rasmus needs one of those little sheets of paper that he had every time he introduces himself to a new farmer. It's like, I will eat your animals if you let me. Fair warning.
Here's my card. Bill me later.
No card, no bill. I'll just run away.
What? I can't help but just watch this. You are primal.
I have cheese.
You see what I have to deal with every single week.
I'm not eating on our podcast.
I
I thought that you know anyway.
That noise wasn't even words. It was
For the benefit of the audio-only listeners, Rasmus is currently taking a large, sharp knife to what looks like
It's one of Rasmus's.
very
It's not very
large
sharp.
leg of meat.
Food. I'm knifing food.
So
And-
anyway,
And Rasmus is eating the meat directly off the knife.
Where have you been hiding David Attenborough all this time?
Can I ask you
museum.
a serious question, though? I mean, serious.
don't
I mean,
expect
Sure.
it serious.
Not
Are you
really.
really sure? Yeah.
Yeah, to Jamie and Andy, because we are kind of celebrating the 100th episode. And I
We
would
are.
like to
Happy
know,
100.
yeah. I'd like to know
In
what's
2 months. Relax.
yeah, soon for us. But what's your favorite episode, and what have you learned doing this podcast for so long now?
Oh, we're nearly 2 hours in, and you can't ask us a serious
Serious
thinking
question.
question.
No, it's past midnight, so it's okay.
I don't know that I have a favorite episode. There's a couple of
Yeah, tell
episodes
me.
which I will not mention that were kind of didn't quite live up to expectations. But they're literally a couple. But I mean, we have had we've had fantastic guests. We literally have. Yeah, we've had
And Steve's been on.
98%. We've had 98% fantastic guests. Yeah, I mean, it's just,
I was
mean,
about to
some
say,
weeks.
don't make the obvious joke.
I mean, we have been so fortunate. I think what's really fortunate is that we know a bunch of really good people, and we have had the opportunity to speak with a bunch of really good people,
And
I
to
mean,
make
that-
them friends as well. I think
Yeah,
that's the
I
other
mean,
thing is the
the-
relationships and stuff that we've kind of got out of just us chatting nonsense for a few hours at a time.
the number of episodes where we have literally at the end of the episode and we finished chatting and we always kind of it carries on a little bit after the sort of the show ends and our faces are literally hurting because we've been laughing so much. Yeah, I mean we know I really feel blessed that I know some incredibly funny people, some incredibly intelligent people, and some of them are funny and intelligent.
why didn't you get any of them on this episode?
James is in the chat. It's fine.
Touche. I love James. He's such a lovely guy.
He is definitely.
He is.
He is.
I mean, James has been pretty much from day one has been the de facto third member of Maker's Waffle.
He's certainly been there in most episodes. I think he's had the most mentions. I think he's possibly had the most mentions.
First patron as well.
I think it's just been. I mean, what have we learned? I don't know. I think I don't know what I've learned from this, other than the fact that we've got some wonderful friends. Yeah, we knew that
that's
already.
Plenty already.
Yeah, and I think we knew that already. But yeah, we do have some really wonderful friends, and yeah, we've had some great conversations. And I know it's perhaps some people don't appreciate the fact that our episodes aren't exactly an hour long as some podcasts are.
We don't have a jingle.
And we don't have jingles, and we don't have all that sort of stuff. But we have had some fantastic conversations, from the kind of the inane and hilarious to the so serious that literally tears are falling down my face. Yeah,
I think that's the thing, is there's been so much personal growth for the pair of us as well. You know, in speaking to such a diverse bunch of people.
In width or height?
Bit of both.
Both. I mean, we had Duncan on, and KJ. So definitely both.
And cousin Simon.
Yeah.
But just the wealth of experience and knowledge and personalities that we've had on. Yes, Steve from
Steve from
France. I was trying to think of a place so it was like University Challenge.
Yes, we can go to the toilet, Steve.
University
Challenge.
I just wanted to, because I'm not sure if Andy's monitoring the chat at the moment, but I just wanted to highlight what Rob said, which is jingles and flashiness never replaces good chemistry, and you guys do that really well, which I think is a very good point, because you guys do it really. It's incredibly difficult to have a constant ongoing conversation like you guys do, where you don't do the introduction, you don't have set topics and stuff like that, and just to keep that conversation going, especially with random guests every week. I think it's super impressive that you guys do that, and that you do keep that conversation going, and it's always interesting. It might go off on random unrelated tangents, but it's still always
all the time. All the time.
It's a weird one for me as well, because quite often, because Andy tends to do almost all of the organization for all of this.
The irony.
Yeah, exactly. I've reached out to a handful of people, and then it's always just been right. Yeah, Andy deals with the rest. So quite a lot of the times, a name will pop up. You know, I'll see the thing come up on Saturday. Oh, who have we got on tomorrow? I've never heard of that person before. So quite a lot of the time, these are people I'm meeting for the first time, and on a number of occasions, Andy's knows this person well. So it's kind of being there, thrown into a chat with someone I've never met, but Andy's already got a sort of a pre-existing relationship with them, in some form or another. So there's a lot of. I think I get a very different thing out of it from Andy does in that sense.
Nice.
I tell you what's most fascinating. Actually, it is fascinating. Actually, I was going to say fascinating, and then I was going to stop. But it is actually fascinating. The number of people who I have asked who have said, "What, me? I can't talk. I couldn't talk for any length of time." And without exception, the number of people who have said, and it's into the double figures, who have said, I can't talk. I can't come on a podcast. I haven't got anything interesting to say, and they have been amongst the kind of sort of longer episodes, and where we've kind of we've come to an end, and quite often we had the episode with Jess, who is kind of is our record, 4 hours and 55 minutes, and I think 19 seconds if I remember correctly, which I might not. And that's our longest episode. And we've we've tried not to try. That's going to stay as a record for a very long time because it wrecks us basically. Until if we've got work the next morning.
Yeah.
But,
and I think I did the following day on that.
Yeah, but the number of
3 hours
times
kit.
I had to get up. I get up and do kind of the pack lunches and stuff like that for the family for going to work. But the number of times people have said, "Oh, I'm not sure. I don't know if I can talk for." No one's going to find me interesting, and we end up talking for 2.5, 3.5 hours easily. And it's just like, I truly believe that everyone has something interesting to talk about, and I think part of our job is to draw that out. And the real beauty of this job is that, to be honest, in most times it isn't difficult. It isn't difficult to bring out those interesting stories.
You just allow the time and space to be able to bring those stories out.
Yeah.
Which is something I fail at doing because I have to fill that awkward silence because I have issues.
It's. I think it just goes to show. I've talked about this before. The maker community. I'm old. Yeah, I'm the oldest here, by significant amount of time.
Shut up.
The white beard.
Don't put that on me again.
The white beard, not grey, white beard might give it away. I've been involved in a lot of different communities over my many decades of being alive, many decades as an adult. And the maker community, without a shadow of a doubt, is the one with the best level of community. Yes, I mean it's a very diverse community. It's a very widespread community, and the maker community, I think we often get trapped into kind of different segments of it here, whether it's kind of wood turning or woodworking or the metal workers. These little corners, these little pockets, and there are people who do dive out into the kind of the wider maker community, and don't kind of sort of stay within that pure making type that they're used to. And I think that yes, like any community, there are people that maybe aren't so nice. There are people who maybe have views that don't fit in with perhaps the majority of makers. They have their own, maybe their political views or religious views or other views. Just to keep it kind of sort of not get down a particular line. There are people who aren't quite so nice. I've come across a few people that kind of first thing you think, oh yeah, they're all right, and then you actually find out that actually they're not nice for one reason or another. But on the whole, I think the maker community is the most wholesome and welcoming community that I have ever been a part of. And that includes. I mean, that includes things like I was involved with sort of the scouting movement for a very long time. I would put the maker community above that in terms of welcoming and wholesome and inclusive.
I'd agree. The scouts are amazing in a lot of ways, but
Ditto.
The maker community really does not only welcome weirdness, but it encourages it. In the scouts, I feel like
there's no rules.
Yeah, it's kind of that. Yes, please be weird, but be weird inside this box if you can.
Yeah, I think that the beauty of the maker community is the fact that everyone is judged on the things that they choose to be judged by. So they choose what they put out there. They can put their personality out there and things like that, but they're not judged on that. They're judged on their work and their creativity, which is what they're choosing to put out there. And I think that's what I love about that, is the fact that no one is judged by anything that they're not willing to be judged on. Like if you're not willing to be judged on a piece of work, then you don't put that piece of work out. Whereas other communities, you tend to get judged on the whole smattering of things. But yeah, so I think
I'd
that's what I
probably
like
take that a step further and say the fact that you're judged on your work first, whereas I think if other places where it's personality first, I think it's more a case of a lot of people just go, oh, that's cool, or whatever, kind of skip through, rather than times where you might get someone go, oh, don't know what that guy's actually doing, or I don't really get a good vibe from him, so move on, kind of thing. I think it's a case of your skills and your work are the primary focus.
Yeah.
Same question to Al, Brett, Steve. You've way past 100 episode. What have you learned?
Nothing.
Do not engage.
Yeah. I've learned that everything is a hammer. The safety glasses don't work even if you're wearing them, and the angle grinders are the best tools.
That most things are edible.
Most things, yes.
I have learned something actually, and it is about having done that many episodes. And it's that you can have the same conversation twice, and it can be very different.
Yeah,
because we always, in the early days, we were terrified about oh no, we can't talk about this again because we talked about that 75 episodes ago, and people will remember. But we couldn't even remember what we talked about, so it was irrelevant. And actually, the fact that you grow year on year, and you change, and your approach changes. So I think the biggest thing for me is that you can completely change your point of view on things, and I think that's because of this massive diverse community and all the different people we know and all the skills that we know and all the things we learn. We are all changing, we're all growing all the time. I've seen every single one of you change and grow, and all the guys in the chat, they're all, everyone's developed over the years. So for me, that's the biggest thing I've learned.
Yeah, I think that's a fucking brilliant point to bring up. I 100% agree, and we have. I mean, I've even said on previous episodes, I've said this previously, but I was wrong, and actually, I've learned this, or I've learned that it's this way, or whatever.
I think that's one really big key point to what makes us a wholesome community, though. I think as well, the fact that we acknowledge that we make mistakes, we acknowledge that we grow.
Whoa! I didn't say I made the mistakes, Jamie. Let's just be.
Yeah. But yeah, and I think for me, I think the things that I have learned as well is that you don't need to do anything special to have an impact on someone. You don't need to be the best or even top 10, even top 20.
No one ever was.
100. Yeah, such a dickhead. Oh, but anyway, back to the point. But yeah, you don't need to be special to have an impact on someone. It's literally just by being there, just by having a conversation that someone else can listen to and can process in their own way. You can have a huge impact on people. The best things that I've had happen to me from doing this is people coming up to me and saying you've had a huge impact on me because of just making me not feel alone, making me feel seen, making me feel that it's okay to feel this way, or it's okay to not be sure. There's a fucking joke about the fact that the Steve effect of just going fuck it and quitting, and I get that, and it's a laugh and everything, but the people that I've had the proper conversations with, that was a real thing for me. I was the first time I quit my job, the first time I changed careers, I was fucking panicking about it, and now I'm actually no, everything will work itself out. Like I said at the beginning, I'm now a professional problem solver, and you cannot control. You can barely control anything in your life, and there's always going to be shit that goes wrong. And if there is something in your life that is dragging you down, that is sucking, that is a time suck, that is a emotional drain or whatever, then you can just cut that shit out and figure out a way around it. Even down to, we had a break for like 6 to 8, it might have even been longer than 8 weeks, when my last relationship broke down, and I was just like, guys, I can't pretend to be happy and enjoying myself right now. I need to just take a break. And even just the act of doing that, I had people get in contact and be like, the fact that I didn't speak about it publicly, but people, like a lot of people, knew what was going on, and the fact that people said, like, you didn't pretend to be okay, made me feel better, like, in a way, because it was just admitting
There's
that
permission for other people to do the same, isn't it?
Exactly, yeah. It gives you, that's the thing, is like giving people permission to not know what they're doing, to not be 100% sure, and to be able to just go, you know what, fuck it, I need some time to sort my shit out. Because I think that's one thing that that we, in terms of Fools and Tools, do really well, is show that we don't know what the fuck we're doing ever. Like, we just make it up as we go along, and that's all that anybody is doing. Anybody that says they're not doing that is a fucking liar. And I think being able to show that and being able to be honest about that is, like, that's what I've learned, is that it's not only is it okay to do that, but it's actually beneficial to other people to do that.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
100% agree. Yeah,
It is a big
Brett,
thing.
are you going to follow that up?
That would be a little difficult. Steve's
Sorry, man.
dropping a load of stuff on there. I don't know. I don't want to get into some existential nonsense, but like the last year or so for me has been a lot of figuring things out and learning and becoming more confident in the direction that I'm going in. Like, Steve, I don't mean to take a piss or anything, but you're like, oh, we don't know what we're doing. You're right, but to a degree, I know what I want.
Yeah.
So even though I don't necessarily know what I'm doing, working on this trailer project, it's like I really don't know what the hell I'm doing in terms of working on this thing, but it's been 4 months of forward progress.
Yeah.
And eventually it will go on the road and it'll get delivered to a client and serve its purposes. So a project like that can prove to me I'm learning things on the way and I'm developing all of these skills, and it has been going in that direction for a few years. So although I don't know day to day what challenges are going to present themselves to me, I've learned a lot more about myself and self-sufficiency and having more confidence and taking on challenges and things like that. I have a support system that was developed through the community of people that I met, other folks that have never tried things before but have figured them out. If I ever have a weird electronics problem with a video game system, maybe I call Al first and just go, you've ripped a few of these apart. What's going on? Or I can get on YouTube and maybe there's 100 other people that are considered part of the maker community. It has taught me that there are people out there that have a similar mindset to me, and you don't have to feel like you're alone in whatever your journey is. But gaining that self-confidence and kind of pinning down my own direction over the last few years of talking with these idiots, it's a good feeling. It's arduous, and some days are really trying, but for the most part, what's been learned over the last few years is all, positive movement with a hell of a lot more reliance on myself. I don't feel like I have to, wake up in the morning and have somebody tell me what I need to do. I know that's not necessarily for everybody, but it's pretty awesome to get to the point where I am 100% in control of my schedule right now. Yeah. And I wake up in the morning and got to put the boots on and get to work. And I definitely wasn't somebody who could do that 6 years ago.
You've built and sort of structured up your support network as well.
Yeah.
To be able to do that.
It's funny because I've learned the exact opposite about myself. Like, I need someone to tell me what to do. I can't, if I'm left to my own devices, I procrastinate and don't don't get shit done. Whereas if I go into the workshop and Joe turns around and says, "Steve, do this, this, and this," then I go and do it. Like I've always said I don't want to do like what Brett's doing. I don't want to work for myself. I've always said that I want to work with other people and for other people because I need that structure. And these last few years have kind of confirmed that to me. Like I know now that I need that structure around me. And I'm so jealous of people like Brett and like Al that are self-starters and self-motivated, that they can go on and do that. But like Brett said, like I think it's good to be able to have that that perspective on oneself, where you can go like, right, what do I actually need? What do I want? What am I aiming for? And how can I get there? And how can I do it in a way that works for me? Right.
Well, to push that back to the 2/3 of 2/3, what's it taught you guys? Your podcasting journey to where you are.
I recently learned that Disney has tried to reinvent the sandwich.
We did need a random fact for this episode.
Yeah.
That might be the fifth one or something silly, but yes. No, more seriously though, it is a really interesting thing to have both just a conversation with someone else and just say, "Hey, am I crazy?" And just go, "No, that's people being crazy," which can be really, really reassuring at times. And then also it's the opposite, where it's like, "No, you are being absolutely crazy," and I mean, maybe not reassuring, but it's a revelation in that.
I think that is something that I think the makers are pretty good at, is calling you out on your bullshit as well. You know, kind of.
I'm surprised of few messages I get from people, honestly.
Sorry, man, I've just been busy. That's all.
I know. I forgive you.
I think it's a general improvement thing, though, isn't it? That,
Yeah,
we're pretty good at.
Yeah, I mean that's one of the things, especially when it comes to maybe not everything I do, but most of the things I do. There's no clear end goal. I want to be this good at something.
Yeah.
It's always just no. I want to be good. I want to do good. I want to be just incrementally a little bit better every single time I do it.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure will frustrate Red endlessly, because my Japanese doesn't feel like it's improving a lot, because I'm just happy with tiny steps.
No, I'm basically the same. I want to be good at something. There's not a limit to, like, under which I would say, oh, I'm not good enough, or limit above which I would say, oh, I'm good enough, so I can move on and do something else. Like I think we are constantly improving on the thing that we are working on, and everybody has a different pace. So if you think that your Japanese is not getting good enough, quick enough, that's fine by me, because you need to work at your own pace in order to acquire what you are learning. And if it takes 2 years, that's fine. If it takes 2 months, that's fine. Learning a language or working on a skill is, for me, the exact same thing. I'm far from the level of leather crafting or leather working that I would like to reach in an ideal world, but lifetime, family, and everything makes that I can't work enough, or enough is probably a weird word, but as much as I would like.
Yeah, exactly. And that is my point kind of with the Japanese is I know I could improve a hell of a lot quicker if I was able to sit down and focus 1 hour a week. And just that. I do the Duolingo thing, and I try to keep up with both German and Japanese at the same time, and that's probably also making things more difficult.
Yeah, exactly. Plus you're doing that and work and everything else. So it's very different from a student that has to spend 30 hours a week studying Japanese only, or English only, or woodworking only, or it's not the same thing. We are doing plenty of stuff, and everything can be improved a step at a time, and that should be enough to make us happy. Like progress is the thing. We are
Yeah.
not aiming to be the best, as Steve were saying earlier. We are only
Well, no one ever
aiming
was.
at, yeah, because no, but if take a guy that goes into space, right? He's like the best guy, best trained, smartest guy on the planet because he has to fix the shuttle and the space station, and he's like fit like nobody else. But all those guys say, "I'm not sure I'm good enough for that job." Okay, but so who is?
Yeah.
And we are basically doing the same thing. We are constantly learning and trying to improve what we are doing, and so that's great. Brett said it. He is working on something that is very new. In a few weeks, it will be serving its purpose. It will be on the road, and all the work that he has done and all the stuff that he will have learned at that point will become new skills and like anchored deeply into Brett's brain and hands. So he will be able to remake everything again, and that's what we are doing all the time. Same thing with the podcast. If that doing the podcast for, I don't know how many episodes are we in, 93, something like that.
93 this week. Yeah.
Yeah, as taught me is that first of all, Rasmus eats a crazy ton amount of food every fucking day, which is nice. You can have the same not the same conversation, but a conversation with the two same guys every week without getting bored, and constantly learn new stuff and enjoy that conversation, which is absolutely crazy. Because like it try to have an appointment with any of your friends every week at the same time, go to a pub, have a drink, have a conversation for 1 hour, then leave, and see how for how long you do that. And yeah, he also taught me that we can improve ourselves, not only by working on something, taking the time to work on something, but just by exchanging ideas. That's something we do really often with Raz, on air and off air, and also be open about who we are and what's going on in life. And that's something precious, because that's rare, as Steve said multiple times tonight. Like, men are bad at expressing feelings and talking about themselves, and especially when something is wrong in their life.
That's why we all start podcasts.
Yeah, basically. Well, we started a podcast because we were so off topic when we were doing Japanese class. We were talking about so many different things. Oh, we should do a podcast. Yeah, we should. It started like that, but yeah, it can be. It kind of starts as a joke, and then it turns into something.
Let Steve
very
have his
different.
comment now.
No, his finger is not up in the air.
He got tired. Come on.
Okay.
All I was going to like, shut up. All I was going to say, like, I really like what you were saying. I really like what you said, and I think, like, because one of the things that it sparked to me when you were talking about wanting to get better and wanting to improve and all of that is the fact that one of the things that I've learned massively from not just the conversations we've had on the podcast with other people, but also just the time spent in the maker community, is that everyone thinks that they're not as good as they are. Like, literally everyone is like everyone suffers from imposter syndrome to some certain degree, some more than others, but everyone that I respect and that I have time for in terms of what they do has some kind of level of imposter syndrome. And you can have someone that is incredibly good at what they do, and I can go up to them as a blacksmith and look at a leatherworker and go, holy shit, that's amazing, I could never do something like that. And it's the realization that they're thinking the same thing about what you do. Like, it's always flipped. Like, they're always going, oh fuck, I wish I could do that, I wish I could be that. It's the same. Like, I quite often use the gym analogy as the same sort of thing. You've got powerlifters wishing that they were as flexible as the gymnasts, and the gymnasts wishing they were as big as the bodybuilders, and the bodybuilders wishing they were as like fit as the guys that go to do ultra marathons or whatever. Like everyone always wishes they had a little bit of what someone else can do. What's wonderful about the maker community is the fact that we all fucking share that shit. Like we all get a little bit involved in everyone else's business, and like it doesn't matter how good or bad you are, as long as, like Red said, like the only person that you're competing with is yourself. Like as long as you improve a little bit on where you were, it doesn't even have to be yesterday, it can be from where you were last year. Like that's all that counts. Like Raz, like the fact that you can speak more Japanese now than you could 6 months ago is all you should be focusing on. Like the fact that it's not going as quickly as you want, so fucking be it. Like you're still doing way more than 99% of the world. Like you already speak 2 languages, if not more.
Yeah.
4. I mean, 4. Yeah. You know, you don't have anything to say in any of them, but you're still able to speak them all. But
I have fun facts. I can have fun facts in all of them.
Exactly. But like, and I think it is really important to remember that we are all we're all fucking good at what we do. Like even if you don't feel like you are, like each one of us has skills and talents that other people wish they had. Like I fucking wish I could draw and design things like Brett, like Al. Like I wish I had their fucking eye for that shit. Like I cannot get my head around how they can just take a look at something and go, oh yeah, like that. Even down to just being able to quote movies like they both can. I can't fucking do that. My brain doesn't retain that information. But I wish I
not only quote them, but then tell you who directed it, who starred in it, what other stuff they did.
Exactly. Like that information just doesn't stay in my head. Like, and we're all surrounded. And I think it is really difficult when we're constantly surrounded and constantly following and looking at people that we massively respect. And I think it's important to remember that for the vast majority of us, that respect is mutual. Like people respect us back. I mean, it's like I know everyone always gives Raz shit, but I have a huge amount of respect for him for what he does and how hard he works, and like the things that he's achieved at his age of like what, 14, 15?
14. Officially 14.
Yeah.
And you don't actually see how much I'm playing Elden Ring.
Exactly. But like I think it is important to remember not only to let other people know that you love and respect them, but also to remember that feeling, that stuff is directed back at you as well. And I'm fucking terrible at doing that myself, and it's something that
you are.
We take a lot of time to remind you of this fact.
Yeah,
regularly.
And that's why I recognize it, and that's why I want everyone else to do the same thing, is to remember that people love you, whoever you are.
It's a very similar to a conversation I had multiple times a couple of weekends ago at some little gathering. But
which one?
Just
can't remember the name.
Yeah, it's nothing too important. Don't worry.
The vape show.
It was a dentistry conference next door. But the fact that with all of us, as Steve said, with us, kind of all having our own unique skill set, that's very much part of our story and our development. The fact that all of us have got that kind of slight bit of weirdness to us as well, and how we all sort of scamper up to each other and just go, "Oh, you're new weird. Teach me your things. I want to learn what kind of stuff that you do, because I like collecting interesting people and interesting skills and learning about stuff." And we're all just equally as willing to share that stuff with everyone as we are to learn whatever anyone else has got to, to kind of show and experience with us.
And also, like, I think that something to remember as well, like, you don't have to be able to do everything. Like, you can just go, like, you know what? I want to be really good at woodwork. I want to be really good at leatherwork. I want to be really good at electronics, whatever. And there are people in the community that want to collaborate. Like, I really want to collaborate with a bunch of different people on different projects. Some of it doing woodwork, some of it doing metalwork, some of it doing leatherwork, whatever it is. Like, and you can use those other people in the community, and you can literally just go up to someone that you've never spoken to before and just say, like, hey, I really like what you do. I've got this project idea. I'm thinking of doing X, Y, and Z. Would you be interested in joining in and doing A, B, and C, or whatever? Like, and open that conversation. Or like, I'm thinking of doing it. Have you got any advice? Would you be interested in having an actual conversation about it? Because that's also a great way to get to know someone. And yeah, you don't have to do everything yourself. You can collaborate and act in a communal
Stop,
way.
collaborate, and listen.
Hmm.
And on that note, what's been drawing your focus? Wait, no, what is it? Attention grabbers. If you put me in the middle, this is what happens. I'm going to host.
No, you put yourself in the middle, Steve.
I was just about to click that exact same thing, Andy.
Thanks, John.
What's come to hold of you tightly lately?
Yeah.
Good.
One last question to Jamie and Andy that I saw in the chat earlier. If you could have anyone as a guest in the show, who would it be? What's your dream guest?
Yeah, I saw that question as well, and I've been pondering
Yeah.
it since.
I don't know. I mean, I just behind me on my desk is a notebook that I carried around the show that we won't mention. Where this year I actually wrote down names of people who kind of I mentioned, yeah, we do a podcast, and would you like to be on? And they said yes. And
Andy said,
email
really?
addresses. Yeah, got a few email addresses, and they've. I don't know. I mean, I've had a yes from Jimmy DeResta.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Jimmy's a great guy to talk to, and I think the fear with somebody like Jimmy, he's a big name. It's not that the fact that he's a big name; it's just that he's been in so many podcasts. I know his background story inside out.
Mm.
And I know that kind of deep down, we will just go off on tangents. And I know from listening to him on so many podcasts that he can go off on a tangent, and that's fine. And we won't go down the story of how he started making named.
Well, he's just older American Steve, isn't he?
No,
Well,
he has
got
way
band-
more skill.
He got more band sauce.
Yeah.
Brett is old American Steve.
I mean, I've got some in terms of kind of YouTube subscriber numbers. That notebook behind my shoulder has some quite big names in. Yeah, we're in in excess of probably 5 million subscribers. Amongst those sort of names. I've not had a yes from Colin first, which was
Funny there was someone with a red
13
T-shirt.
million.
That, come on.
Yeah. I've got an email sitting in the Maker's Waffle email account from
Got ya. Sorry.
an account from a maker who I'm actually nervous to reply to because I hold them in such high regard.
Yeah.
And they're a bit scary because they are so intelligent, they are so sharp, they are such a good maker. They don't have an individual kind of subscriber count that is huge, but the amount of impact they've had over other channels is absolutely phenomenal. And that person is somebody I hold in awe and in a certain amount of fear.
They will be on at some point, but I think that's the thing.
Yeah.
Is I know that at the start we've kind of had that, we had some of our friends on as our kind of like starting guests to kind of give us a bit of a sort of gentle start, that kind of thing before, Andy and I've kind of talked quite a lot over the time of like, do we approach bigger names or things like that of coming on for a chat and stuff, and we've never quite sort of it's that imposter syndrome, not quite feeling ready enough to speak to the people who we have in like ultra high regard in case we mess something up. You know, and it's easy to talk to our friends and mess something up because we know that you'll kind of give us that bit of grace or a bit of forgiveness. But you know, for go on,
just a very quick one. You know who's ready to do stuff? No one ever. No one's ready to have kids. No one's ready to buy a house. No one's ready to quit their job. No one's ready to apply for a new job. No one's ready to take an exam. No one's ready to drive. No one's ready to drink. No one's ready to do fucking anything. Do it. Just go out.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah, but when you have a guest who is so sharp and is so
will run rings around us,
intimidating and awesome and amazing, and
you let them do their thing. And you remember that they agreed to come on the podcast because they want to share what they're doing. You're not getting like the people that you're talking about getting on are people that love sharing information and sharing knowledge. They want to come on and talk. They want to get to know you. They want to share their passions. They want you to lead that conversation. It's not like you're getting on fucking Trump, who's just going to take over and talk the entire time about.
That's who Andy was on about.
Oh fuck! I should have realised by the end.
Ow! Told you not to say.
But you.
Oh,
so,
sorry,
you know...
it's not touch.
So you remember earlier on when we were talking about the imposter syndrome thing, and you guys were like, "Yeah, that's silly. You shouldn't suffer from imposter syndrome." This is exactly it. You guys,
we know the hypocrisy of it.
Yeah. So this is me as a friend telling you both to shut. What do you mean?
Is this? If you just flip the intervention round, Steve?
Yes, I have. That's what I do. Because I don't like the attention on me. I like it on you. So
Al did have a question before.
Everyone listen to me. I don't like the attention.
That's what I heard as well.
Yeah. But yeah, fuck you both. Go and book that.
It's the worldwide privacy tour.
You deserve it. Al, you had a thing.
Totally get what you're saying, but you guys are talking about like big guests. If you look through your back catalogue, there's been some fucking incredible people on this show.
Absolutely, yeah.
And it doesn't matter.
And some of them not, and some of them not nominally big.
That's what I mean. That's my point. The count is irrelevant. The conversations that have been had, and the diversity and the people that have been on, is just amazing, absolutely amazing from all walks of the community. And it's something you should be really proud of. The fact that they want to come on your show.
Proud of. Yeah. I think we've had some wonderful comments from folks in that regard as well. Of that, you know, and it's that we've said from day one that it's always going to be, you know, interesting people that have stuff about them that we want to learn about. You know, and we're so fortunate that these people have decided that they want to share that with us.
Yeah, I have a kind of a unwritten rule, I suppose. It's because it's not written down. That I'm not going to just, because I do most of the asking, as Jamie sort of said. I ask most of the people to come on. I don't want to just ask people that have got big numbers. I'm not. Yes, it's nice to have lots of listeners. It's nice to have episodes where lots of people engage, where we have lots of people on the live show, and then we have lots of people engaging in the kind of the audio and picking that up. And I think it's very easy to kind of sort of maybe pick people and kind of go, Jimmy's an example. If I know that if I have when, and it'll be a when rather than an if. I mean, I had that conversation with him just a couple of weeks ago. When I invite Jimmy onto the show, I know that will get a lot of engagement from people that perhaps or haven't listened to the show already.
Yeah.
And that's going to be great. You know, it may be that other people will then go, oh, actually, yeah, there's some interesting guests here. And maybe we'll listen to some of those people that I've never heard of that person before, but I'm going to listen anyway. And, you know, 98% of the time, they're going to have a great conversation to listen to. But I have people already lined up who don't have huge followings. Some people they're not on YouTube. Some people are only on Instagram. and some people have a few hundred followers, and some people have not a few hundred followers, and some people are on YouTube but they have less than 100 followers. They can't even have a custom URL. But I want to talk to people that I want to talk to. I don't want to talk to people just because they might bring in more followers.
We've said from day one that it's still just something we want to do for us, not just so happens that people are wanting to listen in as well.
Yeah.
So I can't remember who was talking about it, but someone was talking about it recently about the whole when you get someone else, some big name in, you'll get a huge spike on that episode.
Yeah.
That huge spike goes up and then drops off. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about the fact that you're going to get that huge spike and what that's going to mean. And it means we're going to have to do this and we're going to have to do that. Just get the spike on. Trust that the people that are interested in that was so confusing. The people that are interested and that want to listen and that are your core audience anyway. They're going to listen. This show isn't for everyone. Not everyone's going to want to listen to every episode.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's fine. And
we're 2 hours and 40 minutes into this episode. I know that a lot of people don't necessarily have the endurance.
The stamina.
Of that. The stamina.
There's a bunch of episodes that you guys have put out that have had friends of mine on that I've not listened to the full thing because I've not been able to do it in a single stint because I've been listening to it while I'm driving or the journey's ended or whatever, and I've just never gone back to it because I don't have time, and I've moved on to the next thing or whatever, and that's not because I don't enjoy the conversation. It's just because, but the conversations where it's been just a genuinely really fucking good conversation, I've made that effort. I've gone actually, you know what? I need to set time aside to finish listening to this. There's been a couple where I have genuinely got home and rather than putting the TV on or whatever while I cook or what I've gone no, I'm going to put that on, and I've sat on my sofa with my headphones in, and just sat there, closed my eyes, and just listened to the conversation because it was that fucking good. And you're not going to get that every time. You're not necessarily, even with these big names, you might not even get that. You might get that, you might not. It doesn't matter. But people are always going to listen to people are going to come in for those big names and all of that. So you are going to get a huge spike. And I think if you fret too much about how that works, and if you're going to have this perfect conversation, if you're going to have this, if you're going to have that, you're putting too much pressure on it. And the beautiful thing about this podcast in particular is the fact that it is zero pressure. It is a waffle. It's just the conversation meanders in such a wonderfully natural, bizarre way, and that's how you end up down these weird tangents. That's how you get these really intimate conversations, is because they're led there naturally. If you try and go in with so tell me about the most traumatic thing that's ever happened to you, people aren't going to want to answer it. They're not going to want to talk about that. Whereas if the conversation leads there naturally, then it's great. And that doesn't happen every time. And basically, I think you guys just need to accept the fact that you're wonderful and the conversations you have are wonderful. And if you want someone on, just fucking get them on. Don't worry about having the right time to do it.
Hold on really quick before you jump in, Rasmus. Counterintuitive to what Steve is saying, I have to go get to work. And I am going to leave this conversation as riveting as it is. Love you all to
Thank
death.
you for joining us, Brett.
Thank you, Brett.
Happy 100,
Pleasure,
guys. I'm
Thank
happy that you guys have been putting in all the work, and it's been enjoyable to listen to all the episodes. I hope you guys stay here for 6 more hours and I'll get shit-faced.
Nope. I've got to eat at some point, so no.
Yeah. All right, fellas. We'll see you later.
Cheers, Brett.
Have a good one, guys.
Cheers, bud. It pains me to say it, but I agree with Steve. And also, I would like to move on from there a little bit, and because it makes me feel better, to go on to the saying of, I find it personally when we've had a shit episode, to think, oh, good. Now the next one will be better.
Yeah, definitely.
Both
It's
in the
really
fact
weird.
of-
So wait, you're saying that we had a shit episode?
I was going to say, which one was that? Because I missed it.
We
I'm sure I've heard them all.
okay, maybe I should
Less
rephrase
good,
that
less
more
good.
in the fact of like I could have rephrased both what I was thinking and what I was asking a lot better.
No, but I get what you mean. Yeah.
And like also like yeah, I mean, by the nature of things, some episodes are going to be worse than others,
Yeah, sure.
and
Yeah.
I do find it kind of almost a bit of relief in recognizing that. Both in the fact of, oh, it's done, it's over with, but the fact that I recognize that there's things to be done better, hopefully means that the next one will be.
Yeah, hopefully, because if we keep doing bad episodes, it's not good.
I mean,
for
if you
us
keep
or
doing-
for the listeners, that's
If
the
you
end
do
of the
bad
podcast.
episodes and you recognize that they're bad episodes, then we should stop podcasting.
Yeah, my point exactly. So,
There's a really
once in a
weird
while, it's
phenomenon that I've found with ours is quite a few times we've had a conversation that's been perhaps struggling a little bit at the start, maybe, or finding its feet more is probably a better phrasing of it. But
Call back
you know,
to
you
the
might-
start of this episode where we're talking about like attachable feet.
finding its lower half attachments. But
That was the
Yeah,
biggest
we-
shoehorn I've seen in a long while.
giant feet, But an episode might start off in a way that might feel like it's going to be a crap episode, and then all of a sudden, you're looking at the clock thinking, oh, it's 20 minutes in. This could be it could be a difficult one, and then next thing it's 2 hours. I mean, it's just something's changed in the episode, and conversation then just spills out. There's a number of times where that's happened. And it's a really
But,
weird
like-
phenomenon to think it's going to be crap at the start, and then it isn't.
Yeah, like jokes aside, like this episode is a good example because we started it off having a dumb, silly conversation that was really funny and laughs and all of that, and then we've gone on to something a bit more serious. And that's what's great about this podcast is the fact that it meanders, it does this, it goes peaks and troughs, and I think
It's why we don't have topics.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah.
We do. I mean, roughly every 10 we do a topic.
Yeah.
Or we have a set of guests on who have something in connection, which is normally kind of like yourselves, the Full to Tools, or the 2/3, or the Kids
Steve's
and
intervention.
guys. Yeah, we have kind of a group on, so we have that sort of conversation. But it's
you
still
do Groupon?
we do group
Discount
on,
codes.
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm
50% off whenever. Yeah. But apart from that, we never go into an episode with this is what we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
We'll occasionally go in with this is what we're not going to talk about. When we've agreed with the guests beforehand that they don't want to go near a certain topic, and that's fine. That's absolutely fine because we never want anyone to feel uncomfortable. And there are there are things that some people just don't want to. They just don't want to bring up for whatever reason. It doesn't matter what that reason is. If they don't want to bring it up, they don't want to bring it up. That's fine.
Yeah.
But if oh crikey! If we counted the tangents that we went on, and if we think about the kind of a conversation we have, it starts off in a linear way and then it kind of goes off on a tangent, and then goes onto something else, and then goes back to the original topic, and then goes on to a different topic, and then comes back to the second topic, and then on back to the first, and I think the best description I think is that our podcast is like having a chat over some beer or coffee in a pub or a coffee shop, where it just does just go off in different directions, and that's spiffing.
That is, yeah.
There we go.
There was only one direction that could have
Yeah.
taken.
Well done.
You
Yeah.
even had that awkward pause that Steve does.
But he didn't have two people fucking going at the camera whilst he was doing it.
No, we had 5.
Yeah. But yeah,
Well, do we want to start wrapping that up at that point?
yeah, I need to go fairly soon because I've got to feed Murphy as well.
It's
Actually,
20 past midnight. Yeah.
Yeah.
In the UK.
Plus
and
an hour.
20 past 1 for Red and Rasmus. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we are from the future.
Well, yeah, but it's about time soon. We'll just see me go.
oh, Red, I love you.
We live in the future.
Yes.
I feel like don't even want to bother with attention grabbers this week unless anyone's got anything particular that they want to sort of shout out. It's a great chat. We're 2 hours and 50 minutes in. It's been a great chat, and I kind of, unless somebody's particularly got something they really want to shout out, I think it's
Goats.
I think we've. That's on my. I have a sheet for every episode. I have a sheet. And on that sheet, I have different sections. I have a section for in-show mentions. I have a section for attention grabbers, which I'm going to leave blank today. I have obviously the title, and I have a section for kind of things that I might put into the sort of the descriptor on the Instagrams and the like. And the very first word is goats.
I'm happy. My job
I
here
did
is
want to
done.
do one quick attention grabber shout out thing, if I may.
You may.
Spiff.
I'm fairly certain. I'm fairly certain that everyone listening to this will already know and will already listen to. But anybody that doesn't, because obviously we've been talking about podcasts and stuff like that. Anybody that doesn't already listen to the 2/3 Focus podcast, highly recommend it. As much as we love to give both of these guys shit, like they put out a better podcast in their second language. Yeah, they put out a better podcast in their second language than we put out in our first language. Like it's genuinely really good. Like obviously like the Makers Waffle podcast is fantastic. The 2/3 Focus podcast is also fantastic. They cover some great topics. They have some genuine.
They have a topic.
Yeah, exactly. They have some genuinely really thought-provoking and interesting points of view. They also have some piss your pants funny comments. And yeah, it's a really good listen. So if you don't listen to it, go and check it out because these two guys are two of my favorite.
And Jan.
Yes.
And Jan as well.
Yeah, Jan I don't like because he's not here. but yeah, like all three of them.
His wife gave him a better offer.
I know. Which you can't complain at him for that, can you?
Thank you, Steve,
No,
for that.
not at all.
Thank
And
you.
yes, thank you.
But yeah, that was it.
We've got Rasmus tonight.
Yeah.
And
Great.
Steve, and Al. And Red.
And on that note,
Guys, it's been a pleasure.
Yes.
It really
As
has. Thank
always.
you all for joining us.
Thank you for this
thank you.
100 episode and looking forward to a lot more.
Yeah. Thank you for the previous 99, and I look forward to the next 100.
There'll be more
we've
red
got-
balloons to come.
Yeah, we've got.
Hey.
Fuck you, man.
99, yeah.
Yeah.
see, I was
we've
going to
got-
go. Problems
The worst of it is, I've now got Superman in my head. because
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Superman.
because Goldfinger covered 99 red balloons, and because I was thinking of the Goldfinger version, I then had Superman in my head, and now this is how my brain works, Andy.
No, it
Superman,
doesn't. That's how your
Henry
brain does
Cavill,
work.
Steve.
99 cigarette balloon. Yeah.
Yeah, but I just love the fact that I just got this like button straight into Steve's head that I just keep prodding.
And do you know what's even worse is when I was at WDS and they used to try and do this constantly, the one that always ended up in my head was the Jurassic Park theme tune, which I now have playing in my head because that's intrinsically linked to people getting songs in my head. So yes,
done,
thank
Red.
you, Red.
Sweet Caroline.
When I
Oh,
can't
Andy,
sleep
just push the
tonight,
button.
Good night, folks. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.